It's going. And you're on Austin's balls. That's what I heard.
Hell yeah. I'm his drill sergeant.
Fuck you, John.
I keep him fucking. I'm his DM drill sergeant. I keep him going.
Yeah, he drills you whenever
Straight
you
and
want.
narrow.
Wow.
Sounds
Damn right
sexy.
I do. Him and his mom. Hey ho.
I like how he says.
You're a hey-ho yourself.
More. You guys actually start talking
I just did.
more after I say like.
Man,
Wait, what?
So,
Are you trying to say something? Hey, did anybody see that football game last week?
God, I just said.
Yeah, he just said it's called soccer. Get it right.
I also like football.
Don't let John upset. My black lab just started running away because she was like, "Dad's yelling. I don't want to be around for the collateral damage."
Yeah, it happens.
Go for
I'm
it.
an asshole. He yells at me a lot.
Go for it.
Chris, John, are you ready?
No.
Good. Chris, are you ready? Boz, are you ready? Who the fuck is Chris?
Sure. I don't know.
Boz.
That's why I wasn't answering.
Adam, are you ready?
Yeah.
Scotty, are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Adam, second Adam, are you ready?
Yeah, he gone.
It's gone. All right, so Boz,
See.
your
See.
character can transform into different. We're gonna jump right into shit, right, guys?
Yeah, that's exactly where we left off.
This is just gonna happen.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna have any background. The background will come in just a minute. Because right now, Boz's character is actively in a fight.
You're welcome.
And he wasn't here last time.
This is all on me.
Yep.
This is what happens when I'm not here.
All kinds of
And your character is in a fight.
Boz, in my defense, I was incarcerated and nowhere near to help make decisions. I stayed out of it.
Nice.
Yeah, he
Oh, and Chris said to tell you hi too.
he said it's 100% my fault.
So can you please pull up a so when you turn into a mouse.
You want a mouse stat block?
I'm almost, dude. I swear to God, I was like, I bet they're turning me into some animal, and if it is, it's a rat or a mouse. Because you guys have already referenced that. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well,
please pull up.
It would have been
pull up a stat block. Just type in mouse stat block 5e.
Here you go. I got you.
I said it was definitely an option, but this was not my idea.
There you go.
All right. So that's your stat block.
Are you if there's something on?
No.
Now,
Scotty gone?
Put on the background while I'm playing.
can we have everyone mute themselves in the background?
Yeah.
So
if you
we're going to deal with Chris. So
And Canton
John,
and Disney
Adam,
Plus.
Scotty,
I
can you
wanna
guys mute
watch
yourself?
I'll take their silence as good.
Scotty,
Yes.
Scotty, did you know? Can you mute yourself while we're everyone to mute themselves? So here's the thing.
I'll mute myself then. Okay.
I don't like having headphones off very much unless it's like something specific. So instead of doing headphones off, we're just going to do mutes so you don't accidentally start talking about something when you aren't technically.
All right.
So
I'll mute myself then.
Fuck off. I'll talk when I want, Austin.
Fuck you, John. All right.
You can, but just muted.
It's true. So that
I'm mute
your character can turn into different things. Your character is turned into a mouse and it's about to fight a cat. Now I say that. I'm not telling you anything. If your character dies as a mouse, you immediately revert back to your normal form with no penalties, no nothing. You just are yourself. You've lost that spell slot.
Now, just so I'm getting in the frame of mind, did I need to sneak in somewhere in order to turn into the reason why that turned into this mouse?
Yes.
Okay, it wasn't just for shits and giggles. Gotcha.
No, so we are John's character, Tux, was essentially taken in for questioning.
Of course.
He decided to go in and not run, but he also allowed everyone else to get out without being caught or captured or
I remember.
an associate. So we followed him, and he was taken to the parade ground.
Okay.
If you open up roll 20.
Yeah, I got it on.
So if you zoom in to the middle, where all the shit is, over here.
Okay, so all the way over there, I see he is.
Right. So Tux is in the room with the red box. You are the green circle, obviously. And you went into the first door, but your acrobatics roll didn't allow you to get underneath that door. Everything was just too tight and well put together. So you went around to the front, and then you kept failing perception checks.
You got sucker rolling.
I mean, it's a mouse, right? I mean, but the funny thing is that you ran into a cat.
Of course.
Now, this is all you know about the cat. I don't want to give you any prejudices towards this cat. You don't know this cat. This cat might be an enemy of everyone around you, of all of them, and it might be looking for something. It might be a mouse killer. You don't fucking know. So this is D&D, just to get you in your headspace. So you're a mouse. You're a half elf in the shape of a mouse that went into the marching grounds, which is remember that all the coast was just like invaded. And this is where everyone goes. This is where sort of leadership goes as like a fallback, because it's very hard to get to from inside the city, but it's very easy for them to get in the city and then close off the cliff stairwell or to disperse in any direction, whatever.
Okay.
So you're a mouse.
Now, where exactly am I? Am I in a broom closet? Am I in a storage room? Am I in a cell?
You're outside.
I'm outside of the building. Okay.
So if I move this little box, you can see this building right here.
Yeah.
So Tux is somewhere in this L-shaped little building, right? This little zigzag. You tried to go in this door over on this side first, on the east side.
Yeah.
And you just couldn't get through. So then you went around to the north side over here to go into this door right here. As you were turning the corner, you then saw a mouse sitting on the side of the porch area, right? And it's just chilling there. And that's when we rolled for initiative.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go ahead. And nothing happened though, so we're actually gonna. The initiatives were. Oh yeah, yours was. Yeah, initiative 18, but I think I beat it with a. Oh yeah, I did with a 20. It was a 19. That's right. That's what that roll is right there. If you look in roll 20.
I see it.
Yeah. So that's what's happening.
Okay.
Mouse, you're out in the fields. You're trying to get into this room or this building. Didn't work. Went on the other side. Cat right there.
So I have to go through this cat. I can't go around it.
No, the cat's just sitting there on the porch, like there's no blankets or pillow or anything out there to indicate anything special. There's just a cat sitting there, and the cat sees you, and you see it. So we went into initiative. You don't have to do anything. You could of course, run away. You could fight. You could try and talk to it. You could try and mind meld with it. You could try and, I think your character can actually talk to animals.
Can I switch into a different character?
He would not be able to cast spells as a
mouse
while he's transformed. Yeah.
Right.
You would have to transform back into yourself and then use your bonus action to transform back into an animal. But I believe you could do that in one turn. I'm not 100% Adam.
That sounds good to me. I'm good with it.
Do you know?
Adam's nodding his head.
Oh, okay. I can't see him. His video is gone on my screen. Okay.
So this is what's happening. You can always tell me what you want to do or tell me the idea that you have, and then we can figure it out as we go. And we'll smart people with us.
I'm curious as to why a mouse, because there's a lot smaller animals.
He can't do it in one turn. It's a bonus action to go back to himself. And then it's another bonus action to swap back in. I chose him.
It's originally written as an action, so he would be able to use an action to do each, wouldn't he?
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, because he only has a bonus action because he's a moon
archetype
druid.
Right?
So I would say he'd be able to shapeshift into a new creature in one turn. if you're looking for something smaller, as in animals, what do you got? Because I thought insect.
I thought insect, ant, or fly.
Okay, so.
But our problem with that was you had to cross a very long distance.
Yes. And you can't be a fly because it flies. You can't be anything with a fly speed or swim speed yet. Yes, that is why I chose a mouse, because you had to cover quite a bit of ground. And
then what about a grasshopper?
You're getting lost in the weeds.
Like a grasshopper.
Maybe, but you are a mouse.
Right. Well, the decision is now yours. So
yes, that's fine. I'll stick with the mouse.
You can always run as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It depends on
and head back and call it a fail.
Yeah. So the cat sees you.
Okay.
And we didn't get too I didn't make an actual map with to zoom in with a mouse and a cat to scale. We're just gonna.
That's fine.
We're just gonna do the thing, right?
Yeah.
So we're all kind of on. You guys are all. He's up here. You're over here, but you are up here. So the cat sees you, and it looks at you, and it stands up a little bit, but it doesn't arch its back, and it doesn't immediately pounce at you.
Okay.
And then it looks at you, but give me a perception check. I want to see how well you can see this thing, or where you are with it.
12.
So, all right. So yeah, you're definitely mouse forming. So things are kind of, the eyesight's different. What they see is different. You don't spend a lot of time as a mouse, so you're still getting your sea legs, and it looks like a pretty normal cat. So that's it. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't pounce at you. He's staring at you intently. What do you do?
I try to walk past him.
So your intention is just to move closer to him to try and go around, because you won't be able to get past him and went around. But you start walking towards him and see what he does, kind of thing.
Kind of, yeah. So that way I still have a chance to run or talk, see what he does.
All right. When you start walking closer to sort of get past it, he moves towards you, and he playfully bats at you. Without what is this thing? Where is it? He's going to. Oh wow, that's pretty interesting. That's fine. Let's see if he hits with disadvantage. He's not actually trying to do anything. Can I roll it here? No, I can't roll it there. I need to get some dice. That's what I need to do. We'll just. All right. So we got a 7.
Okay.
Against your mouse AC, which is 10. So he bounced you a little bit, but he bopped you on your head, kind of playfully.
Okay. Yeah, and he can understand me, right?
No.
He bopped you on your head. Playfully.
You have to cast Speak with Animals as a spell, but you can't cast spells as an animal.
As an animal.
So you could mouse chitter at him, and maybe he could understand you as much as a regular cat can understand a regular mouse.
Okay. So at this point, I try to. I can. He already hit me in the head, or he's in the process of hitting me on the head.
No, for what he rolled, he didn't hit you. I'm being clear. He didn't try and It was just kind of he booped you on your head, just like a little boop.
Okay, so I just roll off my shoulder and just try to keep walking past him.
He's now enamored with you, and he's following. As you walk past, did you try and go your full speed past him?
Yes.
All right. So if you went past him, he would have gotten an opportunity attack as you went past him, and he's going to try and boop you on your snoot again. He's having fun. I rolled twice. Oh, an 11. So this time he hits you. This time it's a little bit harder, but he's intentionally doing non-lethal damage.
Okay.
But your hit points are... Hey, give me a 1d... no, it just says 1. So he accidentally hits you a little harder than he meant to. And if you get any damage at all, your mouse dies because your mouse has 1 hit point.
Oh, damn.
So your mouse is dead. He killed your mouse.
You transform back into yourself.
You transform back into yourself. And I like to think that...
It was a failed attempt.
Yes. Give me a dexterity save to see if you can... But if you fall as you're... Because you were moving as you fall, as you transform, or if you're able to catch your feet. No.
4.
You fall and hit the ground.
Okay.
How would he fall as he transforms if he's a rat?
Because he's transforming up. From my imagination, he wouldn't.
That's not.
He doesn't
something he would need a roll for. Yeah, but that's not something he would need a roll for.
But he was moving, and he messed it up. Especially with the 4, he got a 1 plus his 3. You can't fall.
You don't roll to move.
Well, he didn't move. He transformed. It's different.
You don't roll to transform. There's no rolls involved with it.
Oh, goodness.
It's just something he does. I'm saying that like that's not a thing that he would get penalized for.
So
he can't be knocked prone while transforming just because he's transforming.
Well, it's not just because he was transforming. He was trying to run past a mouse. That guy, he got booped on the head, and it all happened very quickly.
Well, yeah, he would fall to 0. The mouse would fall unconscious as he transforms, and he'd be lying on the ground. And he would get up. Or he would transform on his feet, depending.
I don't know.
I'm trying to find what happens.
I kind of like the idea of as he's transforming, it happens a little faster than he's used to because he got booped on his head by a cat and he fell a little bit. I don't know I don't know where you would look to see that. I mean, Boz, do you care if you transform and you fall?
No.
So as you fall, and you fall on your back a little bit, the cat then jumps on your chest and starts purring.
Cool.
And I mean, I guess we're still technically in combat, but you can just get up if you want to. There's no. It's just a cat.
Yeah, I can carry him. I carry him off with me if that's.
Sure. Yeah, he's purring. Like cool. As you pick him up, and like maybe look around a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to him because if I'm able to talk to animals, maybe I can use him to my advantage, especially since he's familiar with the area. People are familiar with him.
All right. So you're just petting this cat a little bit, and as you look around, give me a perception check.
Perception. $26.
So you see around, you can see through all the windows and all the buildings around you. You see that everyone's pretty busy. There's a lot going on. There are a few people outside, but no one's noticed. There's maybe someone over here, but they're talking to someone who's inside the building. You can see through the windows. All the windows are full.
What time of day is it?
I think we said evening, right, guys?
Yeah, it's like dusk.
Okay.
Yeah. So no one sees you. You could transform back into another animal. You could be yourself.
Okay. And at this point, I'm just trying to get information to the exact location of Tux, right?
Essentially, yes. However, we're going to do a quick break now.
Okay.
So we're gonna cut scene.
Cool.
To earlier. So now, John. Tux was brought in, I don't want to say roughly, but not gently either. And you were brought into sort of this, if I'm gonna move Hunter over a little bit, and then this little like circular portal thing, where you were patted down and you had your your gear and stuff was removed. You can see the sort of desk thing where everything was put, and it's completely empty. And there's like a little sign that says like interrogatees possessions, right? So it seems like that's what this.
So they would only really have my weapon because most of my other possessions are kept inside of me.
They wouldn't have any idea of any of that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Outside. So they would just have my greatsword. That's all they got.
So that's all they see. They don't see anything else. They ask you to put your greatsword in possessions that they on the table.
Yeah.
And you put your greatsword on and say, "That's all I got." And they say, "Great, come on over here." And they take you to a little interrogation room. As you're walking past one of the interrogation rooms, you see that minister. What was the minister's, the one that you were friends with, name? Does anyone have that written down?
Minister.
Oh, I do. Ministry of History and Antiquity, and her name is Arvin. A-R-A-V, Avrin. A-V-R-I-N.
You see Avrin sitting in there. You see her sitting in there a little bit. Well, she's kind of sitting comfortably. It's a comfortable chair, but it's an interrogation office. And she's sitting in there. And she kind of looks up at you, and her eyebrows perk as she sees you walk past. You can't see her too well. It was very quickly, but there was a flash of recognition, and then that's all you really caught. And then you're taken into another room, and you're not tied down. You're not tied. There's no. You still have your wrists are tied with like the simple rope. It's just a simple rope.
And lets them keep his hands tied because it's not even like I'll play along for now.
So they sit down and they say, someone will be with you in a few moments. Which is government speak. Which is government speak for we'll see you tomorrow, right? So you sit in there for about an hour. Nothing's going on. The door's closed, but there's a window. It's a glass window, and the door looks like a regular kind of office door. Not reinforced, not thick. Glass is thin, and it's a pretty big 4 by 4 feet by 4 feet glass window.
He's going to do a history check on anything he's read about the construction of interrogation chambers in the patrol grounds.
All right.
And he got an 11.
So, I mean, you don't remember anything about the marching grounds or any of the construction, but what you can tell is what you see matches what you've seen in other regular office buildings, which would lead you to believe that this is a regular office building on what was supposed to be a regular marching ground. So nothing.
And I see nothing through this glass.
Well, I mean, do you want to get up and walk over towards it?
He would look at it. He would like to look at it.
Give me a
He's got nothing to do, so he's going to walk around and inspect the room.
Yeah, you can get up and walk around. As you walk around to it, you can.
He got you said perception 20 total.
So, as you're walking around a little bit, you really just see people walking back and forth, mostly office people with paperwork. Sometimes you see a few guards in their typical city guard uniform. Other times you see some what look like soldiers, like actually army soldiers. Give me a history check to see if you can recognize the...
I would say, does he recognize anybody? Ooh,
I knew you'd want to.
23.
Yeah, you actually recognize the uniform that looks a little different as not the guard, and it's not the army. It's actually the city militia. Think like Minutemen for the city.
Okay.
Who you would know from your history that the militia is the ones who are called whenever the city is facing
the city's been under attack,
and they're sort of the in between them and the small, but essentially King's army. There's like what is it? 20.
Yeah, basically a force to protect the city.
There's a 20-man platoon. There you go, Adam. It's a platoon of 20 people, and that's what you know as the king's army, the regulars. But the militia, there's a much larger, but they're called as needed. So that's what you.
So there's only 20 guards for the whole city?
There's 20 regular army from the king, who is essentially there to enforce the king or back up anything else as needed. The militia.
But the captain's guard is completely different?
The captain's because the captain is the head
of the king's army?
Yes, of the king's army, as well as the city's guard and the city's militia. Because when the captain is there, the captain is essentially, it's not the captain is what they're called, but it's the captain of the city, or the city captain, which is.
So the city guard is more numerous than 20 men.
Yeah, the city guard.
Okay.
Like 150, 200.
Yeah, no, that's what I was confused for a second. Like, if we only got to take out 20 guys, I mean, we might be able to pull off a chunk of that.
And then there's the militia, which could be close to 1,000 at need, but they're only. Yeah, they're talking. They're regular people who, when the bells ring, go and get their shit, get their uniform, and go to their designated spot.
Yeah, that's much more scary, though.
Yes, and then the King's Guard is there. Or the King's military is there, but you don't know too much about the King's military with that history roll. If you were to think about it, you know.
With the 18?
Well, you know that they're there from the king, but you don't know much about their training. You don't know much about their specialties. Are these regulars? Are they infantry? Are they special forces? You wouldn't know. So you're in there and you see some of them walking around, and you can kind of see off. There's a hallway that's in front of you, and then on the other side, opposite, there's more interrogation rooms. But off to the corner, you can see some offices and just like the first part of like a cubicle kind of farm, but you can't really see much in there because there's the wall right there. So you walk around and you look around for a while, and still no one's going to come. Do you just want to keep waiting? You're going to sit?
Or are you just going to pace around the room?
Yeah. So, right now, your counterpart...
He's watching people probably a lot through the window because that's what he watches people.
You see some people repeats, you see some new people. It's a mix.
Yeah.
Eventually, if you're just sort of walking around, someone knocks and then opens the door, and it's not someone that you've seen before. You look at their insignia and you see that they work with the captain's guard. So this person works closely for the captain, right?
Okay.
You wouldn't necessarily know because the insignia isn't that specific. This is just somebody who's with the captain, not the militia or the town guard or the king's guard. This is someone who reports to the captain.
This is like his high fucking council of the Jedi, basically.
Yeah. So he walks in. Hello. Sorry. He looks at his notes. I don't know how to address you.
Translation Unit X13.
Do you have a nickname or anything? Translation Unit X13? Or should I just call you 13?
Former master called me X13. My current companions call me Tux.
Well, Tux, if I can. I'm here to ask you a few questions, if you wouldn't mind. And he sits down and he motions to the chair in front of you.
I have questions as well. Why have I been brought here?
Well, we'll level with you, Tux. Someone hit us, and someone hit us hard, and we don't know who they are, and we don't know what they're doing.
And what would I happen to have to do with that?
We were looking for. We were talking to a Niv outside. What's her name again? Avrin. Sorry, I'm new. I'm new to the city. Avrin. We were trying to figure out. who would want to attack us. And we were looking through the archives of the library, and Averin said that you were probably the person who might know in the city the most of what's going on, because she said that you read weird things. Sorry to bring you in like this, but we were under attack early this morning. We've contained the fighting to the docks. He then pulls out some paperwork. Here are some sketches of the flags on those ships, and that you see there's two different types of flags. While one of them has like an ornate seal and symbol with colors, the other one is much more rudimentary and has just colors, and it almost looks kind of ink blotty or something from what it looks like. And they say, we're sorry to bring you in like this, and we know it's got to be kind of a lot of trouble, but we're really hoping you can help us out to identify what the hell these things are, because we're getting hit. We got hit hard down there, and we don't know if we need to ask for help with the king or if this is something else that's going on. Do you recognize these symbols at all?
He's gonna make a history check.
Let's make a good check, buddy.
22. That's pretty damn good. I mean, I don't know what better you want from me.
So the 22.
If you're setting your DCs at 25, you're going too high.
So you recognize both of them. One of them you recognize as the one that's really ornate and like has the colors and has like a seal and it's embroidered, embossed. You instantly recognize, and you tell them, "Oh, that's."
Hold on. What is it? I don't tell them anything. I want to know what it is.
You know that it's the sign essentially of a pretty old, mostly privateers. They don't like the term pirates because they don't just go and do shit, right? They're more like sort of mercenaries on the sea, but they pick and choose historically. They've always picked and choose their battles. Because your mercenary is for hire, but they also don't just throw their lives away, right? So you recognize that instantly as the mercenaries of the sea. They're the Wolfhounds, the Brotherhood of the Wolfhounds, and they for a time they were part of an official guild of mariners and seagoers. This was over 100 years ago. They were pre-zombie stuff. They were actually official guild members and paid dues and were recognized and shit. But over the course of time, they started to, say, well, no one can really stop us out here, so fuck you guys, we do what we want. And there really hasn't been too much that since in the past 20 years or so, since you've been kicking around, you haven't heard or seen anything. There's not a lot of recent accounts.
What about the other flags?
The other flag is a symbol of a specific house from across the sea of a different country. Something that to your circuits, not circuits, but to your pathways, don't make sense for it to be over here, right? So we're like having like a fight in like
what house? Does this house have any connections? What do I know of them? Do they have any and I specifically want to know if I recall if they have a famous duchess.
So you're trying to. So you look at the Brotherhood of the Wolfhounds, and you're like, oh, that. But then you look at this one. You actually have to think about it for a little bit, right? Because this is like we're having a fight in America, and shit's going on, and they're just having some fights, and then all of a sudden this other one is like the flag of a Northern Irish house, like not even of Ireland, but like an Irish house of a different country.
Okay.
Over here, and it's actually a almost arcane house flag.
Should we make another history check?
No, you're good. What's what you got?
Okay.
You're good. And you know that house is actually the house flag's actually been updated. So this is actually an ancient house, an ancient flag of an ancient house that actually split into two, right? So this household.
Okay.
Let's see, the house of. The Tulare house. You can spell however you want. Tulare house. House Tulare.
T-E-L-A-R-I.
House
Just
Tulare.
write it how you would say it.
House
John.
Tulare actually split into two. The one that split with the main household actually died off, and the one who kept the Tulare symbol was also thought to have died off. So you don't quite understand. However, your records only go back like 50 years over there because this is an ancient house of an ancient house. So
Yeah.
that's what you're.
Well, he's 200 years old, but yeah, they probably over there.
Right.
I don't.
And you know the new stuff, but it's kind of like I reckon.
Yeah.
Like from what I remember, that's a failed household, and
Yeah.
this one actually became a bigger household that died off eventually, and this one that stayed true to tradition also was thought to have died off. And it doesn't make any sense to you why they'd be over there. There's no connection that you know of, other than what you know.
So he's looking at it, and he looks at both of them, and he's bringing them closer to investigate them thoroughly. And he says, "Well, it seems a lost house of Tulare is invading your lands with the help of mercenaries." And he would then tell them any information he knew of the Tulare house, their location, all those things that you just told me. And he will not really expand on it any further unless they have questions.
Right, so you don't editorialize, but you also don't have any reason to hide, and you also...
But he doesn't give them any information on the mercenaries other than they're mercenaries.
Hired some mercenaries. Yes.
Because he doesn't know if we're not working with them. So he's leaving that out.
So we thought they might be a mercenary band. One of our other ministers from the kingdom thought as much, but it's nice to know it's validated, because this one, I don't know if we have this one. I think this is an older one, I guess. Otherwise we'd have it, I think, especially in the area. But House Tulare, I don't even know who they are. What
country or what region are they from? Do you have a name for it?
You know the name, but you don't know the location. The name of the country is Gilder.
They are said to be from the country of Gilder, though the country of Gilder has an unknown location to our region across the sea.
Yes. Well, thank you for your answers. Do we have any dossiers on these guys? He kind of leans back and asks out the door, and then you hear back, "Nah, remember what happened this morning? Oh, right. Shoot. Well, I believe we had some documents on these guys, but with everything going on, they might have been misplaced. We're not too sure yet. We still have a lot of reports coming in."
On which guys?
Well, we had
the Tulares or the mercenaries?
Either the mercenaries or some of the men that were working with the mercenaries. We knew of some. Well, I don't know about. I guess some of that's classified right now, but yes, some of the mercenaries. We thought we didn't know if they were.
Well, with more information, I could possibly help more.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's what That's what she mentioned. But I'm here to get some more information. The captain did say that she wanted to speak with you. You're not under arrest or anything. And he looks down and sees you're tied, and he unties you.
I should hope not. No one read me any charges or rights.
Oh, there was no. It was just sort of some emergency things going on. So he didn't fight it. He didn't. So now he's got a.
Literally why I came over here.
Yeah, he didn't fight it.
It's like the one plot I've ever been interested in.
Yeah. So, sorry, my wife came in to ask me what happened with Boz because it's fun. So you.
I survived yet died.
It's true. What? He survived but died because the cat booped him on his head, but then he didn't fight back, and then the cat booped him on his head again, but booped him a little hard and accidentally killed the mouse, turning him into a human. But then the cat jumped on his chest and started purring. So he then picked up the cat and started petting it. And then,
basically how cats have survived.
Yes.
In real life.
That's how. Yes.
Literally how it's.
So now, and then we cut scene to John's character, who Boz's character turned into a mouse to try and infiltrate into the thing to see what was going on to try and rescue their comrade.
That character's based on Alice, isn't it?
A little bit.
Just looking at Alice.
She asked if that cat's based on Alice, who's in my lap. This is Alice. So.
He just wanted to show us his dick.
One of the aides leaves the room, and that one dude who's in there, he keeps talking with you a little bit. He might ask you a few more questions about what we talked about, and you tell him the things that you said you would tell him. And then eventually the captain walks in, and you hear a knock, and she says, "Excuse me, I hope I'm not disturbing anything."
No.
And you,
I believe I was supposed to wait for questioning from you, Captain.
Yes, thank you. TX13, is that?
Translation Unit X13.
Translation Unit X13, thank you very much. So, thank you for identifying some of these, I don't know who they are, but, I mean, thank you for the attackers. I wish we had some more information. Would you be willing to aid us a little bit more? And I think there might have been something that we missed or something that's at the docks. The militia is clearing them out now, and most of the ships have set sail. It's a little messy, but I assume a little smoke might not bother you.
I mean, smoke does not affect me, or it should not, as far as I know.
Do you breathe, out of curiosity?
I don't know.
You don't eat, drink, or breathe.
Nope, no breathing.
And you're
So
resistant to poison, immune to disease. So.
I can walk like down on the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking in your files. It says that you are a sentient non-person that has provisional citizenship, and you're 2 years. I think it was 2 years. 2 years to your provisional status until you're rendered full, because there was no paperwork. But you were brought in by the wizard, who we did know. So, if you would help us out with this, I would definitely speed that up and get that notarized. You don't necessarily have to help us, but we'd sure appreciate it.
I am currently trying to find work for me and some compatriots. If you give me a report on what I am to investigate, we would be able to do it for a fee.
Isabel, what is going on with you? Come here. Why are you shaking me, girl? Did the cat swipe at you? Did the cat swipe at you? She doesn't like it when the cat swipes at her. The cat swipes at her.
I know how you feel, baby.
The cat sits on top of the stairs and then doesn't let her pass. And then she gets scared. It's okay, big girl. I'll protect you from the big mean cat. Who's a quarter of your size. The captain says, Thank you very much, Translation Unit X13. We do appreciate this. Right now, everything's a bit of a mess. I did ask my guards to come and to find you and escort you in. I guess I took my orders a little too seriously, but I hope you can understand, and we can. I thank you for your patience on this.
I understand. It was a time of crisis.
Yes, we will. I will talk to the minister, historical antiquities. I suppose is the one who brought you in, and she's asked to be the one to be your handler, for lack of a better word, to help us with this, and because you guys have you've spoken before, so she will make arrangements to talk with you, hopefully in a few days, to get some of this.
I will meet with her as soon as I have the information for you.
As far as that goes, right now I think they and she reaches out behind the door to ask for something, and someone hands her this slip of paper, and she says, "This is what I have for you right now," and she hands you this paper, and it has her seal and name, and it has some. It looks like sort of a boilerplate message. The person who holds this is on the official business of the captain. The remit of their orders is to, and then this part's written out, go to the docks and anywhere around the docks that they see fit to do investigative work and to do investigative work and as they see fit, to report back to the captain by the end of the week, right? Let's say it's a Tuesday. By Friday. With findings. And then there's some more verbiage on there underneath that saying that no one can restrain you, withhold you, bring you in for questioning, or pretty much fuck with you in any way until Friday. And if anyone has such a complaint or whatever, to come and take it to the captain's office. And then there's a little number on there for a order ID number to reference this. But pretty much, this person's looking up shit, leave them alone. And
gotcha.
She hands it to you, and she says, that's all for now. I need to get going. Minister Avi is right outside. You guys can talk a little bit, but other than that, I appreciate your time. And
Captain,
yeah.
Would we negotiate price for my crew upon completion of this job for the city as independent contractors?
Yeah, yes, that would, yes. I believe you were there last time we had some people come in and attack our precinct.
I was there.
Right.
I was attacked while under your custody.
You are somewhat hard to miss. Yes. For these things, there is usually some sort of recognition and a payment with that, depending on the level of work. And if you look right here on the paper, then she points to the paper where it says, any expenses that you incurred doing the business of the captain in the realm will be paid back. And then there's a little section about remunerations, not just paying you back, but also paying you for the stuff based off of what you find and how much you get done.
Okay, so it depends on what we find, basically.
A little bit, and how much, yeah, but it depends on how much you think you deserve. But it's all kind of boilerplate lawyering talk, which you might probably understand. But that's what it boils down to. Yeah.
He would like. This is all fine and standard. But seeing as I seem to be the only one capable of completing this investigation, maybe a sweetening?
You know what? I'll let you talk to the minister about that. She has some authority with that. Outside that, she can come with me. I actually have to get going. But that's certainly something that you can talk to Minister Avi about.
Understood.
Thanks, Translational Unit X13. And then she turns around and leaves. And then the guy follows behind him, and you're left alone in the room.
And he's supposed to be waiting or going to talk to the minister?
No, they don't really tell you. They seem to be done with you, and they just left. The door's open.
He would walk out and look for the minister.
Yeah, you
heading. Heading
into the
back
door
towards the way I came. Yeah.
And she's sitting there looking over some paperwork.
Minister Averin, I was told you need to speak with me on matters of investigation. I have just the crew for the job.
Tux, I'm so glad they brought you in. For a while there, they just weren't listening to me because they thought that if I didn't know, who would? But I told them that you would either know or you would know where to find it. No one knows the library like you do. So yeah. So essentially, it's a standard. I don't know what was it, a contract or was it just some orders? What did it end up being?
It was a standard contract, but I requested that we increase the normal rate, considering I am the only one in the city that can complete the investigation.
Well, you're certainly the only one who can complete it in as fast as you can. That's one of the things that I was telling them, is that no one else can just walk around over there right now. And yeah, so yeah, there's right now as far as I know, they've got some money, and especially if you can find something good about what's going on, they'll probably. Did you have a number in mind, or I don't really know too much about that, but I can.
I was thinking a flat rate of maybe 1,600 gold, and then whatever we find on top of that.
Oh. Huh. I mean, I don't see why not, but she says,
did I mention that I can search the entire bottom floor of the port if necessary?
Well, you do make
without having to come up for air.
And he licks peanut butter off of anything.
No, I cannot eat. Why would I do that?
You don't need to eat. You can eat.
You just do
it. It's not for sustenance. It's for fun.
It's like Diet Coke to you. You just do it for the taste of it.
I just chew and spit.
Well.
And I would never drink a Diet Coke. Come on. Come on, man.
It sounds like you're referring to, just some general paid work, which is different than a contract. That's so.
Well, that would be preferred.
She kind of looks around a little bit, a little conspiratorially, and she's like, that would be, you would be a great investigator because you know so much about the history of the different things, and apparently the history is what's coming back to us. But right now, she just wants, if you go down there and you can find out a lot in a single day, like you can go back tomorrow and you've completed your investigation, that would probably be she's, I'm mumbling a little bit, but she's also mumbling a little bit because she's thinking as she's talking.
So a bonus for any
right, but then
speed in the
that would really surprise her, and that would be more than anything proof of what you say. And if you were to ask to be hired on, she would probably be. I bet she'd take it, because if you did that and you were able to do it before.
So you could recommend for me further employment with the Crown, essentially, if we are able to complete the investigation post haste.
Well, with this, I was basically just tasked with helping you out and answering questions, but you wouldn't fall under me. You'd probably fall under somebody in the task force, under the captain's guard. But if you were interested in that, this is essentially the best opportunity that could have happened for you to prove what you can do. But yeah, so I mean, do you you don't sleep, do you? I've seen you all hours of days and nights.
I have to shut down, but I don't have to sleep.
Well, yeah, maybe you can go down there and find some stuff and come back tomorrow and tell her what you found, and then if you find something and then say that you'll keep looking, but you want employment, not just payment, that'll get her attention.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll see what we decide. We got a whole bunch of shit now.
So that's you. I want to say when you started to talk with the captain, at that point the guys already stole some guard uniforms. They were ridiculously stole some guard uniforms, I might add.
Yep.
And then the mouse turned cat food, turned cat friend. So happened then. So now I want to jump to Annette and berries to see. So we're jumping around in time a little bit. We're gonna get that sorted out very soon. But we're gonna go back in time a little bit because you guys keep splitting up the fucking party. Annette and berries.
You split the party.
Well,
you stole our robot and split the party. Don't you put this on us.
The robot chose to come, motherfucker.
Ah, you took him. I'm still putting this on you.
If you hadn't come to take him, they would not have had to split.
Facts.
The option for them to need to split would not have come to their head.
I didn't do anything.
It
These
was
NPCs have a
forced
life
upon us.
I love it, and I was okay with the split. I enjoy the split in the party. I hope we keep doing it.
Non-consensual splitting.
How do you expect us to do this floor of the bay exploration without splitting the party there, genius?
But by now,
only one guy can breathe underwater.
All right, so Berries and Annette, you guys went into this little guardhouse right here. Berries got a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Annette is just Annette.
That's right.
He's just normal,
mm-hmm.
sitting in like a little park bench, looking over the shit. Berries, you come out, and remember, at this point, you guys still think that Tux is either being interrogated, tortured, or whatever, because you guys know what you guys did that morning,
right.
And Tux was taken. So you guys don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know nothing.
But I still wanted. I spent forever, and
yep.
John.
Oh yeah, I grabbed my greatsword, by the way.
Oh yeah,
on my way out.
It's just sitting there, and the guard's like, "Oh, cool, yeah." So Annette and Berries, what do you guys do after Berries comes out with the guard uniform?
So I think our plan was to wait until sundown and climb down the thing.
Well, it's not sundown yet. So
I know.
So he has the guard uniform. Would you guys have just sort of been sitting up there kind of waiting for it to get a little darker?
Point of order, real quick. I don't know if we're there time-wise yet because we keep jumping around. Did we, and if we're not there, just tell me, did we see Hunter turn back into himself? Because he would have been much larger than a mouse.
No. I don't
Okay.
I don't think the line of sight is good enough for you.
Yeah, you're pretty far away.
That's fine, but I had to ask.
Far, and then there's also things that are kind of in the way. So you can't tell.
Yeah, I think the plan was to wait until, the sun starts to set to where we would have proper cover to rappel down this bluff. But I was thinking, so we'll just role play this. She goes to Varys. She goes, "Hey, we only have the one uniform. Perhaps you should take it, as I can move through the shadows fairly well. I know that you have the magics to change yourself, but perhaps you may save those. You may need them."
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair plan.
Okay, well, you put that stuff on, and then we shall wait until we can safely get down the hill here. Sound good?
All right. Yeah, I'll get my gear on and we'll make it happen.
Right.
All right. So I have a vision. I have a vision in my head, and it could turn out really fun. So let's just roll with this real quick.
Okay. What's your vision?
Oh, I have no idea. But there is one person in this family.
Huh?
What's your vision?
Oh, the music threw me off. I didn't. So, you guys. So there's a lot of chaos going around the city. There's people kind of everywhere, and then there are some people who are just like doing what they always do. They don't really give a shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are just sort of up here, sitting on a little bench, little picnic area, taking a couple books and stuff, in a guard uniform and then a fishmonger's uniform, waiting for the sun to go down. So while you're waiting, the stuff down there kind of happens. So right now, then we're going to go back to Boz.
Okay.
Boz, what would you do? Let's say that where you're at in the timeline is the captain just started talking to John.
Okay.
You are a person, half-elf, where you're not supposed to be, with a really weird purring cat on that you're holding that's just purring and seems to really dig you.
Cool.
What do you do?
Right now, I'm still in the mindset of trying to get him out or at least locate him, right? Not knowing everything that's going on in the room.
Yep.
So I would want to try to talk to the cat, see if I can learn the groundwork in the area.
Does someone have a movie or TV going in the background?
Yeah.
Not me.
Not
I
me.
believe that's Scotty.
What's that?
I think we can hear some stuff going on in the background, like a TV or movie or something.
Oh yeah. Here, hold on a second.
I mean, kids exist. That's the thing.
Is that a little bit better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually, yeah.
Thanks, Dom.
All right. So,
Boss.
yes. So, you're chilling. You got a cat.
Yes.
You think your buddies. Who knows what's going on? They could be doing God knows what with ball gags and anal toys. See if he's anatomically erect. We don't know. We can only expect the worst at this point. Because you guys just fucking robbed the captain, took all their secret shit, have super secret documents. Who the fuck knows? What do you do?
Yeah, I said I was in a...
Talk to the cat. So what do you do?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
He cast Speak with Animals.
Yeah.
No, but I want him to say it. I want him to do
I was about to say cast the spell, right, to speak with animals.
All right, so you've cast this spell, and what do you ask it? What do you do? What happens?
Why the fuck you hit me on the head? No, have you seen a metal guy around here? Kind of slow, kind of weird, kind of licks peanut butter off anything.
A metal man.
Oh god.
How are you?
This is Cats 2.0.
Yeah.
It's looking at you, and you can feel confusion.
He's gonna show us his butthole.
You feel confusion because it's not used to like talking like that, but it can understand you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Sometime when the sun was higher, we saw a man that was in a strange armor.
Was he tied up anywhere?
He might be. I don't know if he was tied inside, but
What's his cat name? Koi?
I like Koi. Koi's a good term. Yeah, well,
Cool. There you go. Koi the cat.
Koi.
A catty cat. There you go.
Cats are cats are coy.
Yeah.
My name's Coy. What's yours?
Hunter.
Ooh, me too. I'm also a hunter.
Look, Cat. Since we got so much in common, tell me where I can find my friend.
Are you able to become small?
Motherfucker.
Cut that shit the fuck out.
He's Cardi B right now at this point.
Kitty wants some candy.
It's fine. Fucking deal with it, motherfucker.
Kitty.
Don't play D&D and try and fuck
Hey,
fucking.
also, Boz, don't think I didn't catch that perception joke earlier, you piece of shit.
I honestly didn't mean it. I was like, you know what? I'll let it
fucking
go.
let that thing drag real hard.
Yeah. So the cat's digging you, but it asks you if you can get smaller.
Got a fucking hard on.
If I can get smaller.
Yeah, like it doesn't know how to stay and become a mouse again, but you get the sense that it's saying, "Can you get small again?"
Yeah, if you let me go by.
It's a trap.
Yes.
No. How about I just let you go, and you go check where he's at.
It pounces down without another word, and then you hear in your mind.
He wouldn't hear it in his mind. They're able to
Shut up,
communicate
John!
verbally.
God damn it!
It's the way the spell. Learn the spells, Austin. Fuck you. Open the shit and read it. That's your job.
I think my yelling is what's scaring my dog. So, you don't hear the cat in your mind because that would be ridiculous. Because that's not how the spell works. Honestly.
Yeah.
But what you hear in your earball.
Good point, Austin.
What you hear? Thanks.
Thank you, Austin,
What you
for
hear
that knowledge bomb. I
in your
appreciate it.
earballs.
Spot on.
You
Spot
can
on.
hear it still purring, and it
Yeah.
sort of jumps up to the door, and it kind of crawls over the beam, and it goes to like this little nook at the top, and then
Yeah.
it goes in.
Okay.
John, give me a perception check real quick. Just for some funsies.
Oh, 5.
So no, during the entire time of your investigation,
Stupid
you didn't see
non-observant.
anything up there because you were looking around too much through the window, so you didn't see anything. Not that you would have been able to do anything about it anyway. So, the cats.
I could break through a wall.
No, you could absolutely break through. You could. So you knew that almost at any
Easy,
time you
Jericho.
could punch through any of these walls because this was office space. But you just didn't. You were looking through the windows. You weren't like. You didn't. You never
Yeah.
really looked.
No, I wasn't looking for him at
Yeah.
all.
So you didn't see this cat at all at any point. The cat comes down. So
And as soon
Hunter.
as the guy talked to me, I was comfortable.
So, Hunter, you are chilling in the front,
Mhm.
half elf, kind of exposed. Do you want to try and hide it all? Do you want to try and find a shadow? Do you want to try and maybe go to a bush? Do you want to become an animal? Or do you just want to try and roll stealth and just try and hide sort of in like behind the building?
I'll just roll stealth.
Go for it.
20.
It's a pretty good stealth roll. So you actually you find a little nook that's kind of over here on this side of things, that's away from everything, and there's some windows, but they're kind of high up and so you just find a little place to hide off to this corner of the building, not the same corner that the cat saw you at.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, your last was no. You've moved since then. So give me another perception check.
Me or John?
You, boss. Boss.
Me?
No, not you, John. Just boss.
Okay.
I'm gonna try this on my phone. My audio's garbage right now on my laptop, so I'm gonna hop out for a second. I'll be back.
Right on, man.
All right, cool.
Remember that? 12.
12. So you don't see or hear anything, and then suddenly the cat jumps on your shoulder. Like it seems you don't. It seems like it might have jumped from the top, but then like you look up and you're like, there's nowhere for you to have jumped from up there. But it's just sort of like, whoop. And then he purrs. What the fuck are you guys doing?
John's scrolling on his phone. And I was imitating him.
Yes, I was.
Like this. Ouch.
Ow.
You can't push it with your finger, you're dead.
Was I being talked to?
This cat nuzzles hit you on the neck, like it's like it feels like it's almost trying to like get inside your neck a little bit with its head.
Well, I have a hood, so either way, it's fine.
So this thing actually gets in your hood, like it's sitting in your hood now. Unless you do something about it, this thing just is in your hood, and it's like this is a rad place to be.
Cool.
And it's chilling there, it's purring.
Yay, cat, Koi, right? What the fuck do you see?
I saw your friend.
Uh-huh.
He's inside talking.
What's he saying?
I wouldn't be able to understand.
I'm not sure. There was no fighting, no hunting.
I don't know if I don't ask, John. Shit.
There was no fighting.
You had to cast the spell to speak with him.
No hunting. Everything.
It doesn't say anything about me, him not even understand people.
Normal, smelly, big things.
Okay. All right. Does he look okay? Does he look hurt?
I do not know. He does not look like anybody else.
Would you be able to tell me exactly where he's at?
Sure.
Okay.
So, I mean, he jumps out of your hood. And he starts like doing this like super fucking slow saunter around like the side of the building and like super fucking slow in front of like the doors, and like he doesn't seem to give a shit, and he's going super slow. And then he goes Scotty? Okay,
yeah,
cool. No, you're good. Cool. Glad you're back. So this cat then walks over to like the front part, closer to the middle, and sits down in front of one of the windows, and then like turns around and looks at you and blinks, like slow blinks.
So like right here, that's where he's at.
Sure, wherever you happen to.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he's just blinking at you.
Okay. So this is where my friend is at. Now at this point, do I know where Varys and Annette are?
Last you knew,
you would know where you left us, which is where we are.
Up here. I mean, that's where you left them, as far as you know.
As far as I know, because I wasn't here for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably the best thing would be for me to take this information to them.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just, I mean, you would essentially kind of somewhat stealthily try and just walk back the same kind of, would you just walk back kind of thing?
Yeah.
Up here? All right. So in my mind,
Baz would have to know that he went through a guard tower before, so he would know he'd have to go through the guard tower from inside a secure area. So I want to make sure he knows that information, because he wasn't here for all that.
Right.
So shape-shifting might be an option he want to think of.
You know that
he has one more for the day.
It's getting dark, and there's no lights. There's no like fires anywhere lit anywhere. So you know that. I mean, you could probably walk over here into the stairs, or look and see if there's like a normal way up there or something. But you also don't see anything to make you think that anyone's like searching the super secret, not super secret, but like this place is meant to keep people out, not from keeping people escaping, right?
Yeah.
All the guard towers are facing outwards, and then
so it's easier to get out than get in.
Yeah.
But he has to go through one, was my thought.
Right.
With guards stationed.
He might not really know that, because he did scramble down this way of the down the cliff face.
Yeah, but he saw it because he was right by us.
They investigated before he shifted. He had that in. He knew it was a guarded tower. They discussed it prior.
He could probably see the cliff and the guard tower and the winding the switchback stairs type thing from here. Yeah. You can see all that information, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, so there's some shit over there. But when you get to this point over here and you're sort of looking out there, Tux, you walk out that building, and then you look to your right, and you see Hunter. And then the minister of historical antiquities also walks behind you. And she looks at him. And she says, "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
So she sees me.
She sees you, but Tux, you're also standing like you kind of run into each other.
Yeah.
Tux, what do you say?
Tux is kind of stunned and silent, and he's just staring at Hunter, and he does not know what to do. So he's just staring at him. He's waiting to see what Hunter says. What is Hunter doing here?
Because they did just sort of like you walked past the door.
Because he doesn't know either.
It was all, and you were like looking. It happened very fast.
Okay.
And so you're looking at Tux and you're looking at them, and she asks you, "Who are you? What are you doing there?" What do you say?
I'm washing windows.
Oh.
Awesome.
Okay. Well.
I'm the new I'm the night janitor.
Have a good night. And she closes the door. Oh no! Give me a roll me.
There it is.
I want to roll.
I want to roll too. I'm hungry.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Deception.
Okay. Deception roll. Give me a deception roll.
Deception.
Yeah.
Let's see how. Ah shit! My deception's
lying
sucks.
through his teeth over here.
8.
8. She looks at you when you say that, and then she looks at Hunter, and she looks at this dude, and then she looks at Tux, and then she looks back at you, Hunter. Huh. Window washer, huh? And then she looks over at you, Tux, and she says, "You two wouldn't happen to be friends, would you?" And she's looking at you with like an eyebrow raised.
Does she look at Tux long enough for her to have me out of her periphery?
No, you guys are right next to each other.
Damn.
I was ready for it.
I was going to shift into something else.
She looks at Tux and she says, "Is this a friend of yours, Tux?"
You got these two non-lying motherfuckers.
This man, friend, I would say I've met him before. I wouldn't call him a friend.
Huh.
I'm surprised to see him here.
If I may answer too, with a business like mine, I don't have the luxury of very many friends.
Okay, sure. She sort of
I have
like
met him recently.
She throws her hand up a little bit and says, "All right, well, Tux, you got your orders. Whoever you want to go wash windows with and have you help, that's fine by us." And she sort of walks inside.
I told the captain I had a crew.
And closes the door. So you guys are just there now. What do you guys do?
Well, Hunter, I think I have good news. Walk with me.
Yeah, no, she bought it.
I
was gonna say I was a member of the Census Bureau, but hey.
Look at this.
I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
I think
do you have a minute to talk about Jesus?
Fuck you guys.
There's no time left to present.
I think we've been given a free ticket to the city. Look at this. And he shows you the writ that basically says they have power to do what they want. And along the way, he basically tells you what they brought him in for and what he was talked about. Because it's a bit of a walk to the staircase and up there. He's just basically running you through everything that's going on.
Now, question. Just for voice reasons, does the cat come back with us?
The cat, as soon I can't stress enough.
She killed the cat on her way.
As soon as started to walk away from where the cat was at that window, it jumped off the wall, off your shoulder, and into your hood.
Cool. So it's still with me.
That cat is inside your hood now, purring and just sort of like it's doing that kneading thing. You know where they kind of do the thing? It's chilling in there hard.
Cool.
Good job. You gave the cat to a guy who has a cat. That was a smart move.
So, Boz, I told my wife beforehand that if you didn't fight the cat, no matter what he did, the cat was going to be your friend. If you fought the cat for any reason, it was going to try its best to kill you, and then fight you even when you turned back. And it was just a nasty fucking cat. And she walked in here and she was like, "What happened?" And that's why I said,
I'm very invested in this fictional cat.
Dude, when I first transformed back into human, I was getting ready to drop kick this cat. Just off a bridge or something.
Onto a roof.
Yeah, he hit me in the head.
When we got this cat, I told him this guy I didn't want to keep it.
Not very druidy of you, boss.
The cat was me as its person, like, because this cat loves me more than it does my wife, but my wife was the one that made us keep it, which pleases me, and he's weird, and I like him. So
yeah, my cat's right here on the floor next to me.
Cats do that. So yeah, you have
I just don't want the responsibility of pets anymore.
Says the name of kids.
I got kids.
And Adam, Druid or not, animals can be dicks too.
I know. I would just think your first instinct would be to not kick a cat.
All right, so
I want to see the druid kick a cat, but that's
it's a domestic cat. It's okay. It's fine.
So you guys then walk back together, back up here, and
my robot friend.
You go up the stairwell, and then the stairwell goes to a very thick, like, this is a battlemented door, like, very thick, like, there's a steel wrapped around the oak, which looks extremely thick.
Okay.
And you can see it's double hinged, and there's actually stone around it that protrudes. This thing looks like it's part of a castle wall, but it's just this one little section. But it looks nearly impenetrable to anything other than a ram, which couldn't get there because you had to walk up it. So you guys are at the top of the door. What do you guys do?
Hang on, before you go any further. Varys has dark vision. Do you think we would have seen them walking up?
Probably.
Okay, because we were gonna rappel down this thing anyway. If we saw them, I would have thrown a rope and whistled to where they could avoid this guard tower entirely.
Tux, what do you want to do? Do you want to try and climb up, or do you just want to go up the stairs and go to the thing?
He gives them a look with his head tilted, and he just gives them a signal to climb back up.
No, we're still at the top. We were throwing the rope down to you. So
he would wave you off.
You're gonna go through the guard tower?
I have a writ that says I can do whatever I want.
That's fair.
Yes.
I'm not there.
I'm going to.
I'm in character, dude.
No, yeah. You don't know that. I understand that. But yes, I'm going to.
Look,
yeah.
Adam forgot.
You said that to me out of character.
I forgot. My character. I'm very deep in this, okay?
So Annette's up there like,
I love it.
What the fuck? And she's throwing the rope down, and Boss is like, we're good. So, or not Boss, John, you walk up there. So you guys do walk up there, and then what do you do to the door? Or what do you do when you get up to the door?
Open it.
Bad luck.
Melon.
It's locked.
He knocks.
The thing slides open. Password.
I do not have a password. I have a writ from the captain herself that says I am on an investigative work.
He opens the door.
I'm over this.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
You have a writ from as soon as you had a writ from the captain and he saw all the paperwork, he just opened it up and said, "Oh well, come on in. Do you need anything?"
All of the gold on your person.
Sure. Can I take a look?
Your
take
bike,
a look at
your
your
boots, and your clothes.
Yeah, sure. Come on up. And you go up the stairwell, and he takes you to a pretty. It's a modest little armory. It's pretty much you can tell it's meant for just them. But there are some supply stores to if 3 or 4 soldiers were to come up there, they'd probably be able to re-kit them out with stuff.
Okay. I would like to get if they have one, I would like to try to get a heavy crossbow.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do they possibly have plate mail?
No plate mail. They just have armor and chainmail. No plate mail.
How about plate female?
Shut up.
The armor is gender neutral.
He gets the crossbow down. He writes something down. He says, "Can I look at your writ for a second, please, sir?"
Yes, you may.
He looks at it, and he looks at it, and then he writes some more numbers down, and he gives you the crossbow. And he says, "Here you go."
Thank you.
How many crossbows would you like with that? And then he gives you however many you ask.
17.
He'll
crossbows.
actually take, if they have a hand crossbow in there, he would grab that for a net. Just because he thinks it'd be something that she would like.
He looks at the crossbow and he writes something down, and then he copies the number down from on top and hands that to you as well.
Okay. Is there anything you need, Hunter?
He looks at you questioningly, like.
And then I lean into my coat a little bit. I was like, "Yeah, can I get a saucer of milk?"
Yeah, sure. Like when you say that, his face is like a rock. He doesn't. He's like, "Yeah, we can get you a saucer of milk." He goes downstairs and he comes back with a saucer of milk. He says,
"Cool.
There you go." Anything else?
Very much.
He makes a small note, like you can see him write down saucer of milk, and then the other ledger he writes down the same number as before.
My friend is an expert in tracking and dealing with animal wildlife, as you can tell by this cat here.
Wow, that's interesting, but we don't really ask you guys questions much. Is there anything else?
I look over to Tux like, well, if you could tell, then why'd you tell him?
Because maybe he couldn't tell.
Well, you can never tell with us. Anyways, is there...
Shall we roll for perception?
Anything else
to
you
see
guys
if the guy could tell?
That would definitely be insight there, brother. Get your checks right.
Roll insight for me, boss.
Joseph.
Feel good? One up in the noob?
You cannot tell whether he knew
for
or not.
Sure. Always.
Okay.
I love fucking with the noob.
So you can't tell at all.
I'm usually the noob on games.
But he says, well, animals are very useful. Is there anything else you guys? You guys can come back, obviously. But is there anything else?
Okay.
That should be all we need today.
What was the mission we're going on?
Your assistance.
So you asked. So Hunter asked Tux, "What's the mission we're going on?"
Yes. Well, actually, what's the mission we're going on?
No.
In person.
I'll tell you later on because I haven't fully opened my orders yet.
Okay, so we can come back though, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
he would have told you that on the way up earlier, like if you would have asked that when we were having that conversation, because you wouldn't ask that in front of this guard.
I would have loved to have heard that conversation in front of this guard.
Okay, as we're walking away, I'll ask.
It doesn't matter. You guys could have talked about that on the way over easily. No big deal.
Yeah, because that's just like a part of that conversation. But yeah, he would have told you that. We'll discuss that later.
So cool. If there is anything else that you guys want added to your sheets, if you want a heavy crossbow or something else, but
I'm going to
want to ask for some more supplies. Like, can I get a supply bag of?
Well, then, can we requisition bags of holding for all of us?
Oh,
so that we don't have to worry about carrying stuff around.
You can ask him that.
He would. Would there be any way we could requisition bags of holding?
Oh man, bags of holding are hard to come by. Only the main precinct might have something like that.
This is possibly an excavation mission. Could you put in a requisition and have them sent to the docks, please?
Sure, I'll see what we have. And then
we should be there.
He pulls out
tomorrow morning or within 2 hours.
He pulls out this pad and writes down. Yeah, how many bags of holding?
4.
4 bags of holding. He looks at his paperwork, writes down the requisition number or the writ number that you have, and writes down some information. Right? You can see him rolled up and put it in this little.
Make it 4 1/4, so that way I can put one on the cat.
He opens up the tube. He unrolls the paperwork. He gets it out and he scratches. You can see him make a. He just makes some tiny, maybe one for a cat? Question mark. He then rolls it back up, puts it back in the wooden tube, right? And then
I'm gonna make this cat a reoccurring character.
You're gonna get us fucking fired, but I'm okay with it.
You see him like walk over to the window, and like there's this little bird box, and he puts this tube on one of the birds, and then it goes out. Okay, well, there you go.
Thank you. And he's going to head on out, and he's gonna look at Annette.
Opens the door for you. Like, he opens the door. He goes out first, and then like opens the door for you, and then he's like, "All right, have a good day, guys." And then I like to think that Annette and Varys are just looking like, "What the fuck? Did Tux just tell this guy what like?" So now you guys can roleplay all this or not. So Tux and Varys walk out with like more armament and like bags of like maybe food, like 2 crossbows and shit. So that's what you guys see.
Yep. Well, that went swimmingly. And he just looks at Annette. I don't think he grins, but like what you would normally see him do when he's excited.
She would have hustled over there, like once she sees him emerge from the tower. And
I have lots of great news.
Yes? What is it?
Well, let's head to the hotel, and I'll tell you along the way. And he's going to basically let her know everything that we role-played earlier. And
Annette, if anybody asks you, I got a side hustle and washing windows.
She gives you the sting nose flick.
And then all the way up to the conversation with Hunter, where she's going to say, and as to your earlier question, Hunter, the job apparently is to investigate the docks and the attacks on the city. So we're being hired to investigate the people that hired us during the attack. I've told them, and he would be like, I've told them this information. I do know that the Brotherhood of the Wolfhounds is the group that attacked. I have not told them that yet. I say we see what information we can get. And as of right now, depending on what we do with our leverage against the king, we may be able to work for all 3 major parties and get what we want out of it. Or we can pick a side. I do not know. I leave the decisions up to you. I don't believe I have the proper moral compass to make those.
I like to think that at this point, Tux would probably look at Annette. Like, he would say everything you just said.
Yeah.
Probably also, like, look towards Annette like...
Yeah, when he says, I leave the decisions up to you, he, like, looks at Annette, down at her.
So, you guys are back at the Great Drunkard. You're back at your room. All of you guys are together. You have all of the...
Oh, and he hands you that crossbow, Annette.
Yeah, Annette, you can add a crossbow to your sheet if you don't already have it.
It's already been done, yo. Hey, wait, John, real quick. What's the benefit to using that over the short bow I already have?
One's a crossbow, one's a short bow. Probably.
I know.
John, you're muted, John. You're talking a lot, but you're muted.
Yep.
John.
It's not 100% necessary. They're just cool looking.
Okay. That's fine.
You wouldn't be able to use multi-attack, but you don't get that.
No.
If you do choose to at some point take crossbow expert, you can get 2 attacks in a round.
Well, I could probably.
So it could be useful in the future if you go that route. I just more or less wanted to get it for you as a possible role-playing set piece.
I can hold it and still wield a short sword, right?
Yes.
Because they're both light, so there's that.
But you can't make an attack like that.
Right,
you can't use both to attack.
I know, but
you have to pick one or the other in a round.
Right,
yeah.
I know. I only get 1 attack per round, so... but
yeah, but I'm saying you can't dual wield because you have to make a melee attack to enact it.
Right.
The offhand attack.
I get it,
yeah.
but I don't have to worry about swapping things out.
Yeah, no, it helps you. You can pull it out, shoot, put it back down, pull your short sword out. You can just swap those two.
Right.
Quick and easy.
Okay.
Because it's one-handed.
Still in my guard uniform. If I just showed it, if we're at the Great Drunkard now, am I still in my guard uniform?
I would imagine we probably, after they came back, you probably would have jumped out of that. There wasn't any need for that, right?
Yeah.
Johnny, that's something that you can actually.
Would you have done that?
Yeah, that's a question for you.
So your decision won't affect that you guys walked back, because I already said that happened. So you're not gonna say I did this and fuck anything up. So you could still be in your guard uniform or not. What do you think you would have done?
Well, I guess if we just walk back to the, I guess because we're all staying at the Great Drunkard, aren't we?
That's where we were staying. Yeah.
Okay.
You can crash, man.
Yeah. I think I would go ahead and get out of my guard gear.
There you
So,
go.
I mean, sure, you would have easily had like a moment back when you guys were at that little picnic area table to just take off the like the jacket maybe and like change your trousers and then put a jacket on. Like you didn't have to like do the whole thing, like get into a whole different outfit, but you were able to make it look like a normal clothes.
Okay.
No big deal.
I have a question about these orders and whether John or Austin can answer. I don't care. Do we have a license to kill?
I open them now.
Yeah, like, are we deputized?
You don't know.
I think it would assume that we would have license to defend ourselves with deadly force, is what it seems to me.
Well, that was always the case.
Not that we could attack, but we can also tell someone to leave. And if they don't leave, I believe we can use deadly force.
Right, that's what.
But I don't know for sure.
I basically, since one of the things Austin opened this adventure with was killing someone is a death penalty, it's important to know.
So, reading the legalese on the stuff, pretty much everything John said is correct. That is accurate. You guys are able. So you guys are agents of the captain, and therefore essentially the crown, because your writ, your commission is being essentially held directly by the captain, not through the guard or through the chain of command or through a job. So you guys are essentially enacting the will of the captain. So you can see that there's a lot of leeway with that, but it does specify the things like defend yourself. But it doesn't really go too much, because it really is more the focus of it is the investigating work, and to be able to go where you need to investigate things. So that's really what it's about. It doesn't say that you can either kill or be or do whatever you want. But
okay, I have one more question. Can the people that hired us be the Waterdeep Intelligent Enforcement and Law Department so we can be agents of W.I.E.L.D?
Yes, that's actually what I was going to name it.
Yes. I beat Boz to some lame shield joke. Suck it, Boz.
Nice.
I was going to come up with an acronym for realm or something.
Well, I was like, Shield's it doesn't have Waterdeep in it. I'm like, W.I.E.L.D rhymes. Let's do this.
W.I.E.L.D.
Nice.
Yeah, so you guys are temporary agents of W.I.E.L.D. And the commission does specify tux and party. So you only have the one, because as far as they know, it's only tux. But anyone who tux has with them is part of it. But you guys don't have two of these things.
So
you
if we, so
yeah,
what you're
no,
saying
if we
is,
split up,
yeah, we are probably subject to getting fucked.
Or
So-
you'd be able to get the tux to then show
To
the
vouch
it
for
actually, Austin, to run you back on what you said, it said the person in possession of this. So I can give it to Annette if I go underwater, and above water, she would still have right to hold ground where she's at.
Well, it says your name on it, but you're right, it does say that. So if Annette, I mean, honestly, yeah, that's.
So I already thought of that as an
Let's
option.
find a notary.
So we don't have more than one, but if we split in certain situations where I think you're going to need it more, I can give it to you. I'll still be protected because my name's on the order.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay. Good to know.
Yep. Or if I have to, I'd give it to Hunter or Varys.
So
damn you, Austin.
So I'm starting another to-do list. Our to-do list includes investigate Captain Ruffian. No, Rigor Mortis.
Ricker. It's Rick Mortis.
Yeah,
they call him
Ricker.
Rick Mortis. But they call him Rick.
Rick Mortis. Okay, so we're going to check Captain Rick Mortis.
So, yes.
I say we probably want to head to the
hang on.
yawning portal.
Before we move out of our room or this inn, wherever we're at.
So it is nighttime.
Right.
Hey. Well, I'll be right back. I got to refill my water.
All right.
I need to go get another beer.
Okay.
So you guys can keep talking in person and discussing stuff.
No. So,
okay. Do you need the other stuff on the to-do list, Adam?
No, I've got. We still haven't found out about the mistress.
We want to try to go to the library.
Okay.
Well, that was because we weren't able to walk around the city.
Yeah, now we can
now
go
we should be able to be out past curfew too.
Yeah.
Yes.
As long as we're all together.
We can do what we want when we want.
What do we need in the library?
To find out, research that woman.
Oh, that's right.
We want to research the Duchess. Now we're going to have access to the restricted section during the day.
Maybe,
nice.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I'm pretty positive that's the way that's going.
So now that we kind of have a thing, I think that we should at least interimly decide which side we're on. Like, because we got.
I like the idea of playing all three sides, man.
I know that
against each other.
But I think
fuck that.
I think that we need like a dead man switch, right? Like, who are we going to ultimately land with when all else fails?
I think we get to know these people from information, and then we get to know these people as we deal with them, and we discuss that as we go along.
Can you refresh my memory and tell me the groups of people?
Because those opinions are going to change to make that decision right now.
Sure, but okay, so maybe this is the better way to say it.
But
who are we with right now? Who's the leader in the clubhouse?
I would say right now we have the best chance to get in quickly with the captain.
Sure.
We also have information that they do not seem to be worried about us in their investigation of the captain's house, so we should be good there. So since they're not worried about that,
right? We seem to have gotten away with that
information. We can sell that information to to Rick.
Well, as far as he's concerned, I still think we need to play that fucking plan we were playing, where we keep it all separate until we find out more about this Duchess.
I agree.
Yeah,
I would like to do that as well. But I feel like we should right now. Because we have to be hasty in it. We should work on getting in with the captain because there's a timetable on that.
That's what I was asking. Can you refresh my memory of who we're possibly working with?
The captain.
Okay.
And then the pirate Rick Mortis.
Yeah.
And then possibly we have information that we can blackmail the king with, but I like the idea of being able to get in with the king because the captain's trying to get blackmail on him.
And by
maybe we can work them against each other.
By captain, you mean the one we lifted this shit from, right?
Yeah, the captain of the guard. So if I'm referencing the captain of the guard, I'm going to just say Rick Mortis.
Yeah.
For the pirate. The pirate Rick Mortis is what he will be. We'll have to mention that to Austin because I think that's a better idea than having all these captains.
Right.
Gets fucking confusing really quick.
So the three factions we have are the
King.
pirate Mortis, the king, and the captain we robbed. That captain needs a fucking name too, by the way. That guy.
Yes.
He needs a name.
I think it's a her.
No.
But we need to get her name.
No, he said it was a I mean, when he
well,
was
when she talked to me tonight, it was a she.
That was Avrin.
No, I talked to the guy, then I talked to the captain, which he referenced as she, and then I talked to Avrin.
All right.
Bosco.
Okay, fantasy surnames. We're gonna pick this for him. By the way.
Okay.
Do you want something kind of noble sounding, kind of fucking
Captain Blue Jeans?
Because like this has a bunch of shit like Flame Stride, Stone Gazer, like Tall Beard.
I'm sure he has a name for her.
Well, we'll find out.
Captain Holmes.
Captain.
Well, and we also should find out gender before we pick a name.
Well, these are all surnames. Like.
Okay.
So, like, Hard Creek.
Captain Tailwind.
Fucking Farcut. Fog Axe. These all seem like fucking orcish or dwarven.
Why don't we just go simple and go Smith?
Yeah, I mean, that's totally fine by me. I was just...
Captain Ivalani.
No. Vito.
Captain Natiri.
Captain Vito. Is it me or is
Captain
Vito
Jedi?
Sound really good?
There we go. That's it. Captain Jedi.
No. What? I mean, like, it could be just like
Captain Harris.
Captain Reynolds. Captain Crunch.
How about Captain Idej?
Why are you trying to say... Austin has enough trouble with Varys. Why are you fucking trying to make
It's just Jedi backwards. He should be able to figure it out.
No.
He has enough trouble with Boz.
Right.
That's true.
He ends up calling him Chris half the time and giving me the fucking willies.
And it gets me starting to say it because I'm seeing it and I'm hearing him say it and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to call him that. That's not his name.
It's not. It just ain't right.
Fuck you, Google Meet.
It's bad enough because I say Boz. It fucks me up enough when somebody says Baz, which Dave does a lot.
Yes, he does.
Alright.
Dude, I had to get used to being called John again when I got out of the Navy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was Tish for 8 years.
Right. Yeah, we'll just wait for him to come back. 20th century English names. Here we go.
Ooh.
These will be good. These are all pretty fucking... These are just white people names. Ernest Crosby. I mean, it makes sense, because fucking English people. Yeah. Yeah, that captain needs a name. And I would think we would know it by now. So.
Yeah.
It's probably on it's probably on the writ. It should be on the writ.
It would definitely. And I think he has one.
Okay. Well, he needs to tell it to us.
Yeah, we'll ask him. If he doesn't, we make it up.
Yeah,
we're just gonna make that call.
No, that's fine.
We're gonna bury Blue Jeans in. I say it's Captain Blue Jeans.
I still am having.
Bessie Blue Jeans. Blue Jeans.
I've still been trying to come up with.
There it is.
Better names for inspiration. Like Bottle Cap is very good, but I don't want to use Bottle Cap.
Yeah. Soda Tab?
I keep going back to Chicken Wing somehow.
Why?
I don't know, because I like chicken wings, motherfucker. And I'm fat. I mean, like, what do you want from me?
Gold medals?
Nah, it needs to like quick snap pop.
Dragons.
No, I don't like it.
Like a gold dragon.
Yeah, but that's what the currency is. So you just be adding a gold.
Yeah.
Did Austin have to brew this beer, or what's up?
Right.
Like
rocks.
Why? Like he's fucking playing on easy mode over here.
What about rocks?
Rocks?
Yeah.
Like stones?
Yeah. Like you got a rock.
No.
Okay. I'm trying to think.
No, I know.
I'm trying to spitball ideas.
You're fine. There's
no
bad ideas in brainstorm.
No, yeah. I'm just throwing shit at the wall, seeing if anything.
How about teller?
What?
Teller. T-E-L-L-E-R.
No, we're not coming up with last names anymore. So instead, because saying point of inspiration is lame to me, and this podcast we listen to, they get to play at a table and they use bottle caps so you can keep track of it. So
bottle cap.
When somebody does something cool, their DM is like bottle cap. I'm trying to think of something
doesn't want to
different.
Steal their thing.
Right. So
points.
that's what I was like. Chicken. Yeah, points is actually pretty good. I do like that.
Points.
You
get a point.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Oh God, I've never seen an episode of that show.
I used to love it.
Fucking, I imagine I would love it as well.
Yeah, at midnight.
What show?
Yeah, At Midnight.
I don't know if I know that.
It's hosted by Chris Hardwick.
Yeah, it was hosted by Chris Hardwick.
It's like Jeopardy, but with pop culture.
Yep.
Ooh.
And you would have to come.
You know what I used to love? What I used to love was fucking Beat the Geeks.
Beat the
I don't remember those.
On Comedy Central.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was Comedy Central. It was like nerd trivia, and they'd have specific. They had like 3 or 4 nerds on their panel each week.
Yeah. They dressed them like Jedis.
Categories.
Kind of.
They more dressed up in like fucking graduation robes.
Yeah, it was more like graduate robes.
There was also Win Ben Stein's Money was great too.
Win Ben Stein's Money was awesome.
See, I liked it because it was all nerd categories, and every once in a while they had a wrestling geek on there, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, Beat the Geeks. I also like Stump the Schwab. That was a good show.
That was pretty good, yeah.
Here's a random one.
Ben Stein was a good one.
Cash Cab.
Cash Cab is awesome. I also love that they put Cash Cab in 30 Rock.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, I love when he's like trying to like the way he gets to the answers. Dude, like when he was like trying to figure out how much a bicentennial is. He's like, I went to the Statue of Liberty because I heard she was gonna show her boobies. I wanted to see some big green boobies.
Well, I'm glad you guys used this time to plan and
points.
No,
but order and know what you're gonna do. And
we actually got a lot in order. We just have questions for you, fuckhead. You took forever.
We need a name of this captain of the guard that we robbed. We need a last name. So
do you have it, or
if you don't have one, we can make one up.
No, I don't have one.
Okay.
I
mean, I'm cool with Teller.
She's a female.
Female?
She's a female.
We just need a last name.
Female elf?
Yeah, do you have a race? Because I can get you...
Islandi.
Dwarf, elf, what you got?
Yeah, Islandi. Sounds good.
Islandi? Like island with a Y on the end of it?
I mean, you can spell it however you want. But I was thinking with an I.
Is that how you're pronouncing it, though?
Yes,
yeah.
Island
with a Y.
Okay.
With a Y.
Okay.
And what's her first name?
I don't need a first name.
Let's go Pamela.
Her first name is Captain.
Okay. Captain is
because Pamela's real elven.
and we're calling Rick Mortis the pirate now. We're not gonna call him Captain because it's gonna get confusing.
Or Captain Mortis, at least. We just need to distinguish from these fuckers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we do have we have an idea of what we're gonna be doing. We need to go talk to some folks. I don't think we're gonna go to rest right away, because I think with our writ we should be able to walk around in the city at night.
Hey Austin, I have a question. Is there a place where I can go buy a second short sword, just a regular ass short sword?
Oh, I would have grabbed you that if I needed it.
I kept making motions to you.
I did not see that.
I was going like...
I would have fucking done it. I did not see that at all.
They're 10 gold, and I have 410 gold. So
yeah, if I knew that, I would have.
Austin, is there a spot around, like maybe on our walk back, that I could have just grabbed a quick short sword?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, there is a place on the way back.
Okay, I bought a second one. That way I can dual wield short swords.
So it's nighttime.
Sorry, man, I would have totally done
It's
that.
all good. We got cash.
Where can I find out?
We have good cash for level 2.
So
I was gonna say, where can I find out the strengths of each weapon?
In the weapons table. I can send you the link to it. Hang on. I'll shoot it to you, boss.
I can take a picture of it if you want.
You have a scimitar, right?
Yeah.
That's the best thing a druid can wield.
There's not a whole lot of difference in stuff. Like,
well, I have a scimitar and I have the whip. So I was looking for something maybe from a better range, because the whip.
I think everything else you would be at disadvantage.
The only thing you can get as a ranged weapon would be a dart, so like a blowgun, or a sling, or you could use a spear. If you got a spear, you could use that for melee or ranged.
I was thinking about a spear also.
Yeah, you're not proficient in anything else, but you can get a spear, and a spear's only going to be.
Short sword is 10
let me look
gold.
at it. A spear's 1 gold.
Oh.
But you could get you like 3 spears, so you can throw more than one, or javelins? 5 spears. He cannot. He's not proficient in javelins. Yes, he is proficient in javelins. Never mind.
Don't javelins have better range?
I'm on the right guy. Yeah, they do have better range.
So
spear is if you want to wield it in melee as well. But yeah, javelin would be a better option. I looked for that and didn't see it the first time around.
So javelins they're the same, but I think they have
and they're 5 silver piece a piece. You can get like 10 of them.
All right, so we're talking a little bit too much about weapons. We got an hour left. I want to use it.
Okay.
Because
this is what the characters would want to get.
So we stopped at a weapon shop, so if you want to pick up some javelins, I imagine they had.
We haven't done that yet. You guys haven't left yet.
Okay.
That's a fair point, John. If you guys are talking about weapons, then you guys are talking about weapons. Totally fair. So let's say that you guys are talking about weapons, but you are still in the Great Drunkard. It's 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And it went from 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. or like dusk. It wouldn't have got. How long did it take us to get from that guard tower?
Let's say
it just got dark.
Let's say so you got there 7, 8.
I think 8 p.m. was a good reunion time. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say 8:30. It took you about half an hour to walk back to the Great Drunkard.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't been here long.
Yeah.
Yep. That's fair.
So, Scotty, I don't know if you caught because I think you went to get some more beverage or something.
My headphones on, I could keep up.
Okay, so you heard all the stuff about the three people, or the 3 factions we're playing?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so, fucking, who wants to start this conversation? We need to have a conversation about what our plans are going to be.
So, what what does everyone want to do? I've laid the options out.
So, and these are people we're siding with?
What'd you say?
You said these are people we're siding with?
So
we're going to work for...
We're kind of investigating everyone, though, at the same time.
Yeah. I say it's best to stay in the middle.
Yes, I think we should look at we should investigate everyone at the same time, and just whoever has the most really wins.
I would work with everyone equally. Depending on their decisions, I might pick one over the other in the future.
Yes. I would probably more towards with the king, but
sure.
We could work with the king, but if you want to side with him, we can make that decision in the future. But I say we play each side, because that might come in handy for the king.
I am struggling to pick a side, as it were, but I think more will be. I think a nice first step is to research everything we can at the library, perhaps find out more about this woman, because if she is from a vile place, perhaps that marks the king down as an easy enemy. I don't trust Captain Mortis as far as Tux could throw him. He doesn't seem like a great dude.
You know what, Annette? I don't like any of these people. I don't trust any of these people. But honestly, the only people I do like and trust are you guys. So whatever gets us out of this situation, I'll roll with.
Sure, that's the problem I guess I am finding, and you put it better than me. It's like, I don't really care to work for any of these people. Or not necessarily against either. I'm more indifferent, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Like, basically nobody's fucking looking like a great person, so like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, let's just.
Well, could be more money made. If
we could play the middle and crumble them all.
Learn some things about the king, and we work with him, and
you know,
are we revolutionaries or not?
Hey, I grew up in the forest. He's not my king. I don't really care. Let's just hope if he wants to be on our side, let's hope he cover his tracks.
Hunter's got a hat that says M-A-F... what does it say? It says MHFGA, make the High Force great again. She goes, you know what, Varys? You don't make a bad point. If all of these people end up being shitheads, maybe we should at least make some cash out of the deal. I'm not making any money out of my fish stand as we speak.
Money, power.
That is also very important.
Mm-hmm.
First, you get the money. Then you get the power. And then I lost 3 hours that I'll never get back. Because fuck that movie.
And then you fuck the seed.
Right. Dude, first you get
money,
the Dockers.
What movie is that?
Scarface. Then you get
the
chicks.
Anyway.
So, oh, hey, Austin. I think you were away. Would our writ give us access to the restricted area of the library during business hours?
You don't know.
You don't know? Okay. So, do we want to just, like, chill for the night and go to the library during the day?
Well, we need to check the docks out tomorrow.
Okay.
To get a meeting with the captain about working with him.
Which
so
captain?
If we want to work all three sides, his is the only one with the timetable.
Which captain?
Right. So Captain
Captain Islandi.
Okay.
Islandi. Captain Islandi said
Never gonna remember that.
and the writ has it by Friday. So Captain Island, right? Captain Islandy.
Yeah,
Captain
no, you
Island.
can keep saying Islandi. I like it. Sounds better.
Captain Islandi.
Very elfish.
Yes.
So, but remember what Minister Abe said, right? That's her nickname. I've decided.
Yeah.
Minister Abe said.
Right.
She
has cool brandy. I get it.
If you can come back tomorrow with a more like your full findings, that would be very impressive. And she kind of was like thinking out loud a little bit to you, saying that if you were able to do that, that would impress her enough where you might actually be able to get like a full temporary employment to full employment if you were able to do it. Because everyone else, the expectation would have been to Friday, right? You don't necessarily know if anybody else has this secret, but
he wants to work job by job, but he wants to negotiate a price job by job.
Right, but everybody said, but anybody else you would probably be able to intuit was to get this done by Friday, right? So the minister said, "Get it done quick, and you can impress her."
Okay.
So that's the time frame.
Well, if that's got a timetable, I'm totally cool with doing that.
Yes.
Any opposed?
Conveyed that heavily.
Is it necessarily a timetable though?
Well, I think the quicker we do it, the better.
The quicker we do it, though, we can. So we have a faster in with him than we do anybody else right now.
Right, that's our strongest footing.
For sure.
All right.
So if we get footing with him, we get footing then with the pirate and the king next.
Wait, is Islandi
we work on them next.
Is Islandi a guy or a girl? Because it's gone back.
Islandi is a female elf.
Female elf.
Female elf.
Okay, cool.
I actually went with a breakdown of a name from a book, Islandazi, so I saved you guys.
We get it, you read.
Not much. It's one of like 3 books I've read.
I know what book that's from.
So
I know you do.
I like me, Adam. I like, and Annette for that matter, getting employment from like a sanctioned body, like the guard, the guard and the captain of the guard. Like, at least there's substance to that. Whether or not they end up being virtuous is another story. But like, at least there's somebody with our back, kind of. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and with power.
Right, like, at least we had, like, somebody that may stick up for us, like, and privileges that may come with that, like...
If we get in tight enough with him, we can always give him the information he once had. And basically impress upon her our prowess even more.
Right.
Like, we did this the whole time and you had no idea.
If we're investigating this, because the job is to investigate the attack, right?
Yeah.
So we may want to be on a lookout for Captain Mortis to, like, avoid him. Or at least...
Don't forget, Rick told you guys that he would pay you the same what he already paid you if you brought back what you stole or told him he was destroyed.
We discussed that while you were away as well.
So I would say tonight, before we rest, we should go to the Yawning Portal and see if we can find a contact with him. And if we can give him that, talk to him and discuss that information, or we want to investigate him before we talk to him, if that's something you want to do. But, so I think that's what we need to make, because that's something we could possibly do in the evening, but I don't think we want to necessarily give him that information.
No, and I think if I'm cool with going there and finding that contact again, but I think
I would like to bribe him with his dossier, but we said we didn't want to do that yet.
We need to have our story straight, and I think we also need to have in place that safeguard of splitting up the things, right? Like, somebody has the picture, somebody has the envelope, and what was the third thing?
The
letters. I had letters, coded docs, and dossier. So, and then we also have the picture.
Because he wanted stuff about the King's affair.
Yes. So, we could even maybe proposition him with one of the letters rather than the picture.
How many letters were there? Because, like, we could give him a taste.
I believe there was more than one, so we could split that up too.
Austin, was there multiple letters between the king and the mistress?
Or there's a pile. You don't even know how many. You haven't counted, but there's a pile.
Okay, yeah, so we could give him a taste.
Yeah.
Maybe find a particularly juicy one. I don't know, or maybe a not so juicy one, so he doesn't have so much.
I say we give him a not so juicy one, or even a not so juicy 2. But
I like that too, because if we gave him a super juicy one, maybe that's all he needs.
Hey,
and I don't. We need to definitely proofread them. Nothing super important for when we do give them to the king.
Scotty, have you told these guys about your contact for the code to decode the coded messages?
I have not.
No.
Okay.
Would you bring that up while we're talking about it?
Yeah, I would bring it up. I'm not gonna hide that one. I will just
fuck.
I do have a contact. We kind of work together here and there, and might be able to get these deciphered out.
How much do you trust him?
Well, we've helped each other out a lot for some time. I believe he's good in his word.
Scotty, you would say probably 50-50, about as much as someone should trust you.
Yeah, that I didn't know how to phrase that in character, but I was thinking, aren't you kind of a shady bitch? Like,
yeah. I mean, we're not, our dealings aren't so noble.
Right.
But,
I mean, I love it about the character, don't get me wrong, but, you know.
Also, Scotty, you might also mention, if you're being fully open about it, to say that the person in the government that you were talking to, you might not even give the title, said that if I start asking around for this code and you don't hear from me for a while, don't come looking for me. Like,
yeah.
so,
No, I'm not gonna give away my contact or their, however high or low they may be in the government.
Right. Well,
But
this
gotta be
is
a little
this
creative
is
about
this is a interesting conundrum. Perhaps should we perhaps check out the contact and see if he can? Perhaps everything we might need to know is in these coded messages.
he said you talked to him earlier today, and he said come back on like Friday to
Fuck,
talk
everything's
to him.
on Friday.
What day is it today?
It's Tuesday night.
It's Tuesday night. Okay.
I'm supposed to reconvene with him. I don't know about having other guests over to his place, but if it's something that I can get handled, I can handle it.
How many pages of coded information are there? Austin?
12.
Okay. So, like, okay, here's where Annette's head is, right? She only really knows Tux, right? She just met Hunter and Varys, like, what,
Like a few days
2 days ago? So, like, it's not that he's given her reason to not trust him, but, like, maybe we send him with, like, 1 page, see if this guy gets it done.
You don't
So,
know.
like, we're not giving the whole boat away? You know what I'm saying?
Real quick,
Mm-hmm.
to expedite things a little bit, I want to give you guys some options real quick. So, listening to everyone, it sounds like everyone's in one accord as far as no one's holding back any information. Right.
Right.
You don't know who to trust. Fine. There are 2 people that you've been working with, and both of them have one that you know of is located near the docks.
Right.
And your writ is to investigate the docks.
Sure.
From what I understand, you guys would like to leave soon-ish, maybe not sleep at night, stop off at an armory along the way, maybe get a few things, go south, do some investigating, see what happens. Right?
I mean, do we want to investigate the docks at night or in the morning? That's the question.
Well,
because I don't have dark vision.
The trail's only gonna get cold, right? I mean, shit's going on.
I mean, I'm not gonna be able. We're not gonna be able to see shit at night.
Well, so
I mean, I might be able to.
Also, she did say that like they had it under control, but you didn't get she didn't say they're gone, right? So there could still be some people there. There could still be some of the Brotherhood there. There could still be some from this house there. So it's an active scene right now that's not entirely controlled, which is why, John, you would have understood from what the captain was saying.
So they want us to go help out, basically.
They want you to go and investigate, but it's a live scene right now. It's not even been cordoned off.
Okay, then yeah, I wasn't aware of that.
No, that's just me talking to you. Yeah, for sure. But like,
so he would have made everybody know that.
And they went, and the idea was just to start while everything's still hot, but you had till Friday, and that's when your writ would run out, and you have to come back. And if you don't, then your writ still becomes a pumpkin on Friday.
Okay.
So I
gotcha.
I was listening. I think we head to the docks during the daytime. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Just act like fucking police. Like, detectives don't work a lot at night. Like, unless they're the night shift detectives. Involved.
Well, like, I think this is kind of I think this might be something for us.
How much do you guys want to stand out?
To go check out now. Tux would say, well, we have a option to leave tonight. Assist in the cleaning up of the docks and possibly put our faces out there as people helping the city. which could be good for civilians to see if future endeavors go south. It's good for the civilians to be on our side.
I mean,
if the city thinks of us as heroes, we can have more power than anyone.
I didn't think about that.
If you read your history, you would know heroes tend to run history eventually, or run civilizations eventually.
Since we're playing three sides, do we really want to have our face seen as out in public?
We could play the three of us, Hunter, Annette, and myself as investigators. You're our tracker, and she and I are co-investigators. And then we could have this gentleman go and try to meet with have Varys meet with the captain, and maybe bribe him with a couple of less juicy letters.
Would you want to be my volunteer?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, I don't have a problem with being known that we're... Well, I mean, that's a good point. Do we want the pirate guy to know we're working with the fucking cat? We could always spin it to him that we're...
Yes, I say we let him know that we're working for him, and we're working to keep him and his identity quiet. We're already misleading them that the Brotherhood of Wolfhounds are here, but we have informed them that Talari has came. They know nothing of what Talari is.
I'm still foggy on Talari.
It's a house from a faraway land of Gilder.
It is foggy.
And they know those two things, and that is it. Okay. But they do not know that your men are involved. And I could have identified them, and we chose not to. And basically, he would let Varys know all of this so Varys could spin his story around it. Because let Varys go and speak with, let the two smooth talkers duke it out while we're investigating the docks. Working both sides all the time.
I mean, he's certainly the best person to do that.
Yeah. Now, I feel like there's no reason we can't be splitting the party and greasing palms all over this fucking game.
Just a few sessions ago, John was saying split the party was the worst idea possible. Now it's split the party.
I know.
It's still a bad idea.
It's more dangerous.
But
it's more dangerous. But I feel like it fits.
Right. It's yeah. It's not bad. I mean, if you don't think combat is imminent, it's fine, but who knows
sometimes
when combat's
we're going to have to be in two places at once.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I'm cool with whatever. I'm like so fucking wishy-washy right now that I wish somebody make a decision and I'll go with it.
I say we split the party. Maybe some of us can smooth talk.
So, yeah, Varys, we were thinking you go talk to the pirate while the three of us investigate the docks. Are you okay with that? You're going to take some letters, smooze him over, let him know that I am withholding information. We're trying to work with the captain to maybe get on the inside, and maybe we can assist him with things in the future.
If you want me to go with him, I also have decent social skills, like +5.
If you want to go with him, that's fine.
I mean, that way at least we've... In case something pops off,
and I was going to suggest that I could transform into a dog, so that way I can at least have a better sense of
a dog when you have.
I was thinking you should stay with me, Annette, because you're associated with me.
I mean, that's fine.
A known associate. So I was trying to distance us from Scotty while he goes and meets with them. Or from Varys.
That's fine. Like I said, I'm kind of like
my intent, if you want to go against it, and that was to distance us from him, so we seem as separate entities at times.
I am
so that they don't see. So we can try to play both sides.
I feel a bit in over my head as I am a simple fishmonger. So point me in the right direction, and I will do my best.
We are diving in the deep end of a gold mine or death trap. Either way, it will be a fun ride.
Yeah.
Well, we've gotten this far. It hasn't been a fluke.
You've made more money than you have in your whole life in one day. Do you want to risk it? If not, we can stop here and return to Fishmonger.
How, like, I would imagine that, like, he's got more emotion than you're conveying. So, like, she can probably see that, like, you're into it. No, it's fine. I get it. I understand the struggle. Trust me. She probably sees that, like, you're into it, and she's like, fuck it, he's not wrong. Like, I was probably making, what, like, maybe 30 silvers a day on a good day. So, fuck it. Like,
and if you got lucky, you had 10 gold in your pocket because you had a good week of gambling.
Right. So, she's like, well, it hasn't worked out so bad so far. Don't make me regret this. And
I think the two of us are a formidable team.
I think it'll be just fine.
Does anybody have like
Ferris said it would be just fine.
Freaking, like, nobody wants to say they got a bad feeling about this, and then Tux can tell them the odds, and so
that'll happen eventually.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, we've already done that joke.
It'll happen 8 more times for sure.
For sure. Just don't turn into 3PO or I'm gonna fucking cut you.
My head! No, that's how I am gonna roleplay him when he has his flashback to when his head originally got ripped off.
3PO's an asshole.
Because he was much more 3PO before he got destroyed by giants.
Oh god.
And then got turned into a wrecking machine by Kenku.
God. Yeah, so I mean, are we good? Do we have our missions?
All right, so what I understand is you guys are all going to go down together towards the docks. The idea was to try and find Barry's is going to go with a net to...
No, Barry's is going by himself.
Barry's is going by himself to the bar down there where they first made contact to see if he can talk to Captain Mortis to talk him up and see what the fuck's going on and see what he's interested in. He's got the one document.
We're gonna tip him with some letters.
Yeah, you guys probably would have talked about it for a while. So anything, Scotty, that you forget, we're not gonna do any off mic stuff. If there's anything that you forget that they said, you can just ask them what they would have wanted to say or what the conversation would have gone. That's fine. And the rest of you are sticking together to just find shit.
We're gonna go investigate the docks.
Yeah.
I'm still suggesting if I were to turn into an animal, I would be able to gain their perspective, right?
So, Boz, you can turn into an animal whenever you want to.
You can do that twice per short rest.
Twice per day.
No, twice per short rest.
This would be a second
rest. Even better.
And you retain.
And how many does it take a spell slot?
No, it's a different resource. Boz, also you keep all like your mental faculties, so like you understand people.
And you wouldn't necessarily I mean you'd be seen through their eyes and their ears and stuff, but you don't
you are that animal. That's just straight up. But you're
shapeshift.
Those second 3 stats, intel, wisdom, and charisma, those stay the same.
Okay.
Basically. Like your mind is yours. Your body becomes the animal.
So you wouldn't, if you became a dog, you wouldn't be able to talk to them.
No, I'm not trying to talk.
You can't talk.
I figured, okay, look, if we're trying to put something on these guys, the best way to be able to do it is, since everything was lit up and fired, the best way to do it would be to find some kind of incendiary devices, gunpowder, explosives, whatever you have it. And
you want to snoot it out.
Exactly. Yeah. What better way to search a CSI area than with a dog? I mean, and plus, it also gains me access to being able to not being seen with you guys technically. So if you guys needed me to head up a different area and not being seen with you guys, I wouldn't have any connection with you.
But you don't.
Or if we hear something pop off in the tavern, you can run over there and shapeshift.
But you can only
be the first one to arrive to help.
It's an hour at a time. And
that's fine.
You could cast it again for 2 hours solid, but then you wouldn't be able to do it again until you took a short
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've only spent 1 spell slot so far, so you should have 2 more.
Wait, so we're going down there now?
Oh, we're going down in the morning. Yeah, we did decide the morning.
So let's,
for sure.
Yeah, we'll short rest.
So yeah, long rest.
Yeah, long rest. Sorry. So yeah, everybody's spell slots are back.
Yeah, we're gonna try to meet with everybody in the morning at separate times.
I wanted to check something real quick. That's
right.
So there is a slight, like, okay, here's what I'm gonna recommend, since you're still kind of new. Speak with Animals is a ritual spell. So if you spend, what is it, John? 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
If you spend 10 minutes before you turn into an animal, casting Speak with to cast Speak with Animals, you can spend that 10 minutes, saying the incantations and whatever, and then you have that for 10 minutes after that. Doesn't cost you a spell slot. And then basically, when you turn into your dog or your rat or whatever, you can speak with other animals for the next 10 minutes.
But that would have been a bad spot to do that earlier.
Right, yes, 100%. Yeah. You did it right earlier. You did. But I just wanted to, anything with that little R by it, Boz, whatever the casting time is, it's 10 minutes plus that, and it won't cost you a spell slot.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So, like, you have Detect Magic and Speak with Animals that you can do that with.
Okay.
And you do them for free if you have the time to spend that 10 minutes. Yep. So, all you got to do is say, hey, I'm doing this ritual, and then I wild shape, and then you're gone. So, just something to think about.
So, we don't normally have so much exposition for those who are new. But traditionally, I think D&D is a little bit more straightforward sometimes, but when you keep someone on rails, and by that I mean you kind of force the party down a specific path, you have a lot more sequential, episodic type things. But with this one, there are 3 parties of the land: the king, the captain, and the pirates. And you guys are doing some real shit. So I think you guys are playing it right and being smart about it. But just for those that are new players with us, there is usually a lot more action, and there will be. But just like any world, we're world building a little bit. But we also wanted to have more city time in this one, because normally you guys might go on a quest and then have to fucking fight
bandits, fight wolves.
Yeah,
right. So
this has been a blast, especially role play wise.
Right. So everyone's got their mission, right? So you guys sleep for the night.
Long rest.
You guys, and Tux goes into his wakeful slumber.
Yep.
And
he's just watching everything.
Nothing goes on. You guys wake up with the sun. The sun comes through the windows, and your guys' clocks sort of turn on, and you guys sort of wake up. And
Tux is up like 2 hours for everybody, and he's reading through everything he's trying to memorize everything we found.
So if you're saying that, then I'm going to tell you what you're looking at, right? So you got 12 documents. These 12 documents are all coded. As far as you can tell, you can't tell any difference between these 12 documents. Let's say that you've looked at them.
No, he's looking at everything else.
You've looked at
the dossiers.
You're looking at to see if there's any seals or signatures, if there's any format. You can't tell. The coded documents, they're completely coded, and you can't.
Yeah, he knows that. He wouldn't have even looked at those. He's looking at everything else.
You had 8 hours. I'm sure you combed it all.
So no, I'm just telling you whatever. I'm just telling you stuff. So
well, you've already told me that. That's why I was saying that.
Well, I didn't say
that last time.
I didn't go into much detail about it. So they're just weird codes of little lines that look like they were sort of pressed in by something, is what you can tell. So it does look like there was some sort of like mechanical something that was just.
They have a mechanical indentation in the paper.
Right. That's what was doing.
Press.
The dossiers. It is of the captain and 3 of his sort of lieutenants, who they all, after reading through it, they were suspected to be of some either pirate guild, or not guild, but like pirate clan, or they were just pirates, or they could have been privateers, which is what they turned out to be essentially. You know a little bit about each one of them. You can remember details as you need to about those guys. And then there's a few others. There's one other one name that sticks out to you is Jack Hand. If you're reading through the dossiers, Jack Hand looks like he is possibly trying to start a pseudo criminal syndicate / thieves guild, which would have rules of secrecy, of not like taking big things that you can't resell, being smart about it. Jack Hand seems to be a very intelligent person. They don't have a picture of him, right? They said that he either has he has a bad eye that he wears an eye patch over, or he has his right leg is not real and has a peg, or
is he in?
Those are both false and misinformation. So you don't know. It could be.
Okay.
You don't know what color he is. He doesn't even know if it's a he. But you know the name Jack Hand is that's the juicy piece of information. They were able to get us his name, that he's doing some shit. They don't know where he is in the city. They don't know where he operates from, and he's essentially like this guy, like Captain Mortis. He's on the outside, and he was a huge target. But Jack Hand has a lot more information of like notes and stuff. It seems like this guy is sort of internal number 1 of what they're looking for, and then everyone else that you look at it's just like some common burglars, common criminals who are either wanted or were trying to be part of Jack Hand's group. We don't know, but they mostly were rounded up. So Jack Hand is the only one that's still at large, and they don't know what he looks like or his co-conspirators.
Okay.
That's what you know from looking at.
Okay, that's nice. He's gonna hang on to that, and he's probably gonna download that to everybody later. We're gonna focus on getting stuff done. He doesn't want to talk about that stuff in the streets.
Yeah, but since you mentioned it, I like that information.
He's interested in Jack Hand, and he definitely wants to pitch that as someone we need to use Captain Riggs to get to.
So you guys wake up, go downstairs, get some breakfast, walk outside. What was that guard's name who was getting friendly with the net?
His name is Therid.
Trend? What was it?
Therid. Thehared.
Therid. That's a weird name. What am I thinking?
You fucking made it up. You want to change it?
Yeah, you did.
You want it to be
definitely
Jimmy?
did.
All right, so as you walk out, guys, Therid is sort of on the opposite corner, and he perks up when he sees a net, and he starts walking to you, and then he sees everybody else, and then he kind of pauses, but he kind of keeps walking towards you. So he's walking from across the street. You guys are basically going to turn straight and go south, and he's north walking to you. Do you stop to sort of talk to him at all, or do you keep walking like you don't have to?
She'll probably like just wave at him, and like, you know, she'll make eye contact, not like super long eye contact, to the point where like if he wants to fucking say something, he would feel okay with it, but she knows she has a job to do.
You basically give him like the nod, like the heads up, and like the little wave as you're walking, like, hey, I'm walking, but it's nice to see you again, kind of thing.
Right.
And then when he does that, he kind of smiles a little bit, like he had a big smile, and then it dropped and he saw everybody. And then it got a little bigger when you did that, and he was like, and then he kind of waved back and then started walking back to his corner.
Austin, Are you gonna make it where if I don't have my character bang this dude, he becomes the big bad evil guy of the whole adventure?
That's actually written in the notes.
I figured it
It's
out.
okay, but we'll be able to kill him in one hit. So it won't really... But he is gonna poison and kill your character.
It's okay. I'll stick the cat on him.
That's actually true. That's actually true with all of you. All of you are going to have to bang somebody, or that's going to become the bang. So just watch out for that person.
By the way, Austin, the correct answer there was roll for initiative.
I don't know that I'm anatomically correct, guys.
You got holes.
Hey,
You're
John,
fine.
we'll find you a female suit of armor, okay? We will make this happen.
Yeah.
John just gets real cozy with like a chain shirt.
A toaster or something.
And Jackie
Don't
Wilson
worry.
is in the background.
Austin, next time I'll make a suave bard for the next time you DM, and I will fuck everybody.
You don't know how to play suave. I mean,
all right, so you guys start walking south. Different people.
Do I?
Nobody comes up to you guys. You guys are sort of a formidable group. You guys are not like overly armored.
We haven't died yet.
You guys have some weapons. You guys have short swords. You have crossbows slung around your back. You got great swords. You guys are pretty well armed, but you don't stick out too much. But you guys as a group sticks out quite a lot. But there's a lot of things going on. But you guys would know, like, there's not many big groups. And you guys are a little bit more heavily armed than you would be used to also.
Well, that makes sense.
You guys are going to do some shit. No one stops you as you guys walk south. You guys walk into about halfway down. You come to a place like the market area, and then you guys are able to go to an arms place. And you guys walk into the armory, to the place that sells shit, and the guy, he says, "Hey there, guys, how can I help you?"
I would like one short sword, please.
Oh, okay. They are they're 10 gold apiece, but for 11 gold, you can have your name engraved in the handle.
Yes, please.
Absolutely. What name would you like engraved, please?
What the fuck did I tell him? What did I tell that guard my name was? Sally?
Sally.
Yeah, that's what I want to. That's what the sword's name is, also.
So Sally, excellent name. And he goes to like the back, and like you hear like loud clangs and like mechanical shit happening in your, and it's kind of like some smoke's coming out the back, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? And like he comes back, and he didn't engrave the handle, he engraved the actual blade with like this, and it looked like it was done with some machinery, and it's got like an inlay of like, and it says Sally, like huge letters on the sword. Sally.
Nice. Like all the way up the whole blade.
All the way, like we're talking huge, like all the way. The cursive like elongated a little bit, so
like, you could
like,
read it from like across the street.
Yeah, this this sword's name. This is Sally. This is Sally's sword. Or the name. Yeah.
Boz, all I can think of is you're not gonna not get Randy Jackson to sign it.
Would you like a for 1 silver? You can have a nice leather sheath with metal tip and your name engraved on that too.
Sure.
And what did you want the same name engraved on this?
She says no. Can you just put the stamp of a fish on it?
Libby, yeah. You know what? For you, absolutely. So she goes back.
No! Wait! Hang on.
He's already back there.
No! She yells at him. I don't want the fish. She says,
"Yeah."
I would like the mark of my deity, and I forget which fucking one I picked, but just say he does it, and I'm getting there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he goes and he puts the name of
Scott.
the
What's your god?
My
It's the same one.
Hold on. It's
Tamora. It's a Austin. I would like a face-up coin on my sheath.
some more.
He pops over and says, "Okay," and then he goes and like.
This is a Swedish chef behind the fucking counter.
So he comes back and there's like what's the name? Not golf ball, tennis ball size little coin shape of the guy, and it's like beautiful craftsmanship. Like it looked really nice. And he says, "Come back later and we can always do more work. We can create metals, we can do all sorts of things."
Very well, Messi. And she
he then looks at everybody else. Would anybody else like anything? As he's holding his hands out to you for payment.
Oh, I pay him. Yeah.
Sure. You give him that 11 gold and 1 silver.
Yeah.
Does anybody else want anything?
No, I'm okay.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
I need nothing.
Boss, you didn't want any javelins?
Nah.
Okay.
I'm okay.
I was gonna say your whip is better than a javelin, and your thorn whip is better than a javelin anyway.
Yeah.
But
mechanically.
by the way, Austin, I got my height because I didn't have a table, so I rolled for it, and I am 6'7", 298 pounds.
That's not
if you're looking for how big Tux is.
Hey, Boz.
All right, so you guys,
hang on. Before we leave here, Boz, I will tell you this.
What's up?
A javelin has the same effective range as your thorn whip, but you can throw it up to 120 from 31 feet to 120 feet. You have disadvantage. So, but there also might be a spell you can cast that would better serve you at that kind of range. I just wanted you to know these things.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. She
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. What was that armorer's name?
Tilly.
Tilly? Cool. I can get down with Tilly.
Tilly the armorer.
His name is Tilly Jennifer.
Jennifer. I dig it.
I also dig Jennifer Tilly.
Jennifer is 2 N's and 2 F's, by the way. Jenniffer.
Hey, John.
Tilly got some big ass titties.
John, it's Jennifer.
There we go.
It's Jennifer, Ginn.
It's just
all right,
an alcoholic gnome.
You guys then
is she Jilly Jennifer?
Yes.
Shut up, John.
No.
Jesus.
I like how we do all the bullshit too, and then John gets yelled at. It's my favorite part.
I'm talking to you. All right, Adam, Boz, you guys are so you guys start to head south. You get to about you guys went past the captain's house. You guys.
I need to edit this because the captain has a name. Excuse me.
You guys get down here, and I'm guessing you guys split up at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I don't think we would.
Hold on, my computer timed out. I'm just getting back in.
I mean, I would think around, maybe around the honorable night or a little bit thereafter, we would have parted ways. Just to make sure we didn't, arouse suspicion.
Well, Darius is up here at the yawning portal.
Mm-hmm.
So he dipped out up there.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that he was stopping there.
Yeah.
Is that where he would need to meet?
You guys don't know. You guys actually weren't given instructions on where to meet good old Captain Ricky.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, we could start there, or we can check out at the docks. Because you mentioned them being people down there, so I figured maybe he can look there.
So we could also do this. You guys maybe stay up here, and just sort of like hang over here in the village square over here. That's fine. And then Varys maybe goes over there to check stuff out, then maybe comes back.
I mean, yeah, I don't think we would kill a ton of time waiting, but sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to.
That's fine.
I don't want to leave him out to dry, though.
Well, you don't know. You guys don't know anything down there, right? Like,
right.
As you guys are coming south, the more south you went, the fewer people that you found.
I'll tell you what. Let's say we hang out at that square. After a half an hour, Annette'll go down to the window of the yawning portal, and she'll be like, "Hey, in a half an hour, look out that window, because we've all been in there. Look out the window here, and give me a signal. Should we go or should we stay?"
Yeah,
so we do that.
You guys work out a little shit. You guys wait over here. Varys comes down to the yawning portal, and Scotty.
Yes.
Real quick, can I press something on him real quick? Make sure you can use the information we have. Like, we would have discussed these terms as a group. You can use the information we have as bait for him, but don't give up anything. Just give him the letters that we gave you. Tell him we do have other stuff.
Give him a taste.
From what I heard, you guys.
This is the only adultery information we have, and we have other stuff.
So, from what I understood, you guys are giving Scotty one coded message.
No, we're get one of the letters from the king to his mistress, or vice versa.
From his mistress to her, yeah.
And one of the less incriminating ones as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you guys just do the first sheet, and the first sheet has the titles of stuff, or maybe the lack of titles, in a really small introduction and stuff. And then the next page has.
I would say whatever we give him has enough to show that there's something going on.
Yeah, maybe a middle page
on a scale of 1 to 10, of 10 being the sexiest and 1 being very innocuous, a 3.
Yeah.
If we had ranked them. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. We're gonna say that there are 9 pages.
Okay.
You have 9 pages, including the picture, and the pages were
if they get increasingly salacious, let's say we give them page 2.
Oh yeah, they get into texting pretty it's one way. It's like an email, right?
Right.
But he's not talking about finger banger yet, but it's talking
that's page 12.
Yeah. And we're telling him that's all we got. That's the information. We're trying to give it to him for the money.
If you come back and give it to me, I will pay you money or destroy it.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Okay. So, Scotty,
I'm peeing but listening.
And you see Captain... when you first walk in, it's empty.
Okay.
What would you do if you walked in to the yawning portal and it was completely empty?
Is there a bartender in there at all?
So when you guys got south of Waterway and the King's Road, this big road right here, right? This big road that I had stuck with my pink lines for whatever reason, you guys start to see almost nobody. There's not many people, right? So, yeah, when you guys get south of this little line right here, you guys don't see anybody. That's kind of where the area was evacuated. So when you get to the yawning portal, you don't see anybody. Would you stop for a second and look around, you think?
I would say, point of order, if we don't see anybody, do we want to go with him in there or no? Hunter,
if we don't see anybody, there's no reason we can't keep moving together at this point. If we're not seeing anybody, then yeah.
All right, so we're gonna say that Scotty goes in first, and he says, "I'll check it out." You guys are just outside. Scotty, you go in there,
that's fine.
And you don't see anybody. What are you gonna do?
Well, I'd probably tell them there's not a soul in the building that I can see. There's no bartender, there's nobody.
Well, give me a perception check. If you're looking, because that's what you need to tell me, right? If you were to walk in and just walk back out, then you don't roll a perception check. But if you walk in there and you're looking around, then I want a perception check, and I'll tell you more. Yeah, 21. Yeah, you rolled twice, but you 21.
Oh, I clicked on it. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm taking the first one because it's perception. That's correct. With the 21, you can see everything looks empty.
Okay.
Where are we? We are over here. So there's well, all these characters aren't there. When you're looking around, you can't see everything at once, right?
Right.
So varies. So you walk in here, but you see over, where is it? You see with the 21, you do see something over here that looks like it's either it could be a letter, it could be a note, it could be a picture. You can't really see from across the room.
I'll go investigate.
Pinned to the wall, right?
Yeah, I'll go investigate it.
All right. You read it, and it says, "To whom it may concern, if anyone were to have found what I was looking for, meet me at the docks, if you are brave enough." That's what you're seeing.
Okay. I'll go ahead and I'm just going to take the note with me.
Okay. As you are walking back, you hear, well, with that, I'm giving you that, we're still going off that 21 perception.
Mm-hmm.
You hear something back here. And back here, this is a wall, and these are like, these are doors right here. Okay. And you hear some shuffling or something back here.
All right, I'll walk back there and see what the noise is from.
Cool. So you walk back there, and when you open the door, you see two guys that have red sashes on their arms. Okay. And they rush to attack you. We're going to stop it here, and you guys are going to be rolling initiative. You guys are just out here, and you guys said that you basically were just right outside the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
So you guys are just, where's the main door? I'll say the main door is right here. So you guys are just like right out here, right? So, Varys, you're just going to have at least one round. Okay. And we're going to roll for initiative at 7 o'clock next week, Wednesday.
It's like 7:45 next Wednesday.
We'll see.